Well, welcome back to the TENG TOOLS ICCR here at Mondello Park. We're going racing immediately again. Hope you all had a nice lunch, but it's time for the Precision Graphics Irish Touring Car Championship. We're missing a lot of guys away, and engine rebuilds and gearbox rebuilds and all sorts of stuff. So we do have 2, 4, 6, 7 cars, 8 cars maybe on the grid. David McMinn in pole position. And guess what? That Seat Ibiza that you're looking at is diesel powered. I jest you not. It is an oil burner and it's very quick, oceans of torque, a little bit of black smoke, and very well driven as well. Alongside him is Pat O'Malley in the EP3 Civic, always beautifully turned out, Pat O'Malley Civic. Then Luke Marmion in the Toyota Celica. James Marmion, I think, is he Celica mounted as well? I think he is. Ross Aspel, Oisin Clune and Cathal Ward, but Cathal Ward is not there. I don't think Cathal is well, so hope everything's alright with Cathal. We're thinking of him here. Also thinking of Glenn, sending out big message to Glenn Montgomery, who's been doing a great job on commentary with us lately. Glenn in hospital, will be back out shortly, but was supposed to be here this weekend. So we'll have Glenn back down here for the European Rallycross anyway. He's the world's biggest Rallycross fan and very knowledgeable about it, so hopefully all will be good. Glenn will be back up and around. Yeah, James Marmion, the older Celica, 57 Ross Aspel. We don't see Oisin Clune, we don't see Cathal Ward, even though they are in our grid sheets here. We'll lock up there from James Marmion, the older Celica. Just ahead of the B-Wing, the Integra, Ross Aspel. The track, not easy for me to say, but it's not, there's certainly no standing water. It's a little bit damp, maybe a little bit greasy, but it's not too bad. So we should have some good racing here, 15-minute race. So here we come down to the grid. It's the diesel Seat on pole position with David McMinn, Pat O'Mahony alongside the EP3 Civic. Then right in the centre of them there's Luke Marmion in the Celica. And his dad James Marmion just out of view on the right hand side of the EP3 Civic there. Also Celica mounted. And away they go. And somebody slow away. In fact, lighting up the front wheels is Pat O'Malley. Down under the Alfa Romeo bridge, and it is the diesel Seat that leads down there, no problem at all. Gets it turned in nicely. Luke Marmion up to second place now, and all the way from the back Ross Aspel making up places in the Integra and looking to have a go for second place already. I wonder can he get up to McMahon. Let's watch this one now as it progresses. Already alongside Marmion, the Integra clearly quicker in a straight line, slices by the outside and takes second place already as they head down towards turn 3 for the first time. McMinn will be watching his mirrors. He gets turned in, uses that wave of torque from the turbo diesel to get away up the hill, but the Integra very, very quick and well sorted, and I don't think it'll be too long before we see a change of leader here. Irish Touring Cars, pretty much anything goes. We had hoped to have the Kelly Motorsport ex-Colin Turkington British Touring Car BMW 125. It tested here on Friday, but the setup of the car was wrong and a few small issues, so they decided to pull the entry, take the car back to their base in Donegal, and just get it all set up neutrally and service it and go over it, because they literally just received the car before the event. Beautiful looking machine. We will see it out there. Look at the speed of that diesel in a straight line, almost taunting the Integra by leaving the door open, but it's on the brakes where the Honda's going to do it. He's down the inside and takes the lead into Castro Corner for the second time. A little bit of understeer, but not too bad. McMinn tucks in behind him now in the dark side development built Seat turbo diesel, little Ibiza. Not that much difference in a straight line. You see them there. The Seat very, very quick. He just keeps feeding it gears and it just pulls like a train. Even a really quick Integra doesn't manage to get away too much in a straight line. Slowing them right down, trying to get into the apex. Sayed almost cocking an inside rear wheel there as they get turned in and up the hill, and still the Sayed staying with the Integra now as they come back towards the main arena. Does lift the inside rear wheel briefly there. Through the left-hander, then through the right-hander. McMinn, Aspel, O'Malley, and then the two Marmions is the order now. Two leaders coming through Southside Motor Factor's corner. There's James Marmion just ahead of son Luke Marmion. 32 ahead of 20. Going through Nordic Spirit corner now. My dad heading for the pit lane, I think. No. Not sure what happened there. Just moved to the inside of the track. Out onto the main straight. All a bit spaced out. It's going to be, we'll be hoping there'll be a battle for the lead, but they were 1.2 seconds apart already when they went by. Is that a big lockup or is that an engine problem down into turn one? Can't quite say. I think it's just a lockup. A cloud of white smoke just at the top of our screen there beyond the Alfa Romeo bridge. Waiting for the leaders now to come up out of turn 3. The Beacon Hospital live stream. Integra still leading and just easing away now from McMinn. The gap at 1.2 seconds last time round. The track's still decidedly greasy just looking at these times. We'll get a better indication of how quick the times are when they go by this time. But it's Aspel, McMinn, Pat O'Malley, Luke Marmion, James Marmion, the order in this one. Trying hard to stay in touch. Number 34 clips the inside curb. Back end gets a bit wayward. There you go. Look at the black smoke with the turbo blasting on the diesel machine. Both with the exact same speed through the speed trap. 148.1. The lap time, fastest lap is Aspel, 106.345. 6887, that time a 7.4 for McMahon, a 116 for Pat O'Malley. He'll surely go better this time round. Let's see. 111.119. Luke Marmion in the pit lane there. So the dad takes over that place. So we're going to be down to 4 cars still running in this one. So Luke Marmion in trouble there. Somebody is over with him in the pit lane. Let's hope they can get that car back out again. The leader beginning to ease away. Still close enough between the first two. This is Pat O'Malley in the EP3 Civic. Normally goes really well, so maybe the car's a little bit too stiff for today's conditions, because certainly not staying near the Integra of Aspel or the Sayat of David McMinn. Great sound effect as the Integra blasts past. Start another lap. Fastest lap again, a 6.1. Oh, 6.6 for McMinn, so almost matching him and finding a full second that time round. So fastest lap for Aspel, but a personal best for David McMinn, and the gap at 2.2 seconds. So he's easing away, but he's not walking away. But that's the only chance of us having a battle here, I think, because everyone else is strung out. Third place is Pat O'Malley. He'll be starting another lap just now as he goes by. He did a 1:10.855 for a personal best there. And then it's going to be James Marmion. In fact, Luke Marmion is going to rejoin. So he does, just as dad goes by. That's the father on the right, son on the left. So you look at them coming down the main straight. Huge lockup for James Marmion. Obviously that car needs a little bit of setup work. Lock at the outside front wheel. It's unusual. It's normally the inside front when you're turning into a corner. Here comes the Integra. Aspel. 5.2, goes quicker again, finds a load of time. McMinn with a 7.2, slower that time than he had been previously, but certainly it's beginning to dry out just a little bit. You can see right clearly out over turn 3, there's no rain coming. So it's Aspel, McMinn, O'Malley coming out of the final corner now as the leader makes his way down past what used to be called the hole in the hedge, but it's still called the hole in the hedge for Rallycross, even though there is no longer a hedge there, and that's been doubled in width in anticipation of the European Rallycross Championship coming to Mondello in July. So a lot of work being done. The two Marmions together. Luke out of the pit lane has already caught past his father inside a lap, so I would suspect there's something wrong with that car that James is driving, perhaps that one there, 32. Beautiful looking car, but probably needs a little bit of fiddling or fettling as they come out onto the main straight. slightly quicker through the speed trap than Luke as they went through that time. So nothing wrong with that car in a straight line, but certainly under braking around the corners maybe needs a little bit of setting up. So it's Aspel, McMinn, O'Malley, Marmy in the order. There's Aspel getting by James Marmy in there, just slices by him at the S's. The Integra now well clear. There's McMinn at the top of your screen in the diesel set. 7 minutes to go, half distance. Out comes the Integra onto the main straight. Being waved there to tell James Marmion that David McMinn is on the way. He dutifully moves offline there to the inside and allows McMinn down the outside. Fastest lap is still to Aspel at 105.266, but he's 1.3 seconds slower. That time a 6.5 as opposed to a 6.6 for David McMinn. Personal best for O'Malley in third place is a 9.1. Integra very well set up. It gets right into the apex there and on the power to come back up the hill. It looks like he's a little bit closer there. It was 4.7 seconds. Or has he got a bit closer on this lap, or is there a problem? Let's have a look when they go by the start-finish line. It's probably still around the same, but let's have a look. It certainly looked closer when they were down at the S's. Here they come out onto the main, headed towards the main straight now. On the brakes into Southside Motor Factory's corner, out onto the Bahrain straight, named after Martin Bahrain, of course. And here's the Seat. Watch them as they go through. 5.2 is the fastest lap. 6.8 that time. 6.6 for Aspel. 6.1 personal best for McMinn. But did that sound a little bit clattery as it went by? I know it's a diesel, but I think it sounded a little bit off. Certainly closed the gap down by 7/10 that time round, so we were right. He's definitely closer for second place. Gap down from almost 5 seconds to 4.2 with 5 minutes 41 seconds still to go. It's Aspel, McMinn, Pat O'Malley, James Marmion and Luke Marmion. O'Malley just crossing the line now. A personal best for him, a 1:08.8, so his time's coming down there. He is in the little red EP3. That's the leader putting a lap again on Luke Marmion. So Luke not making it hard from there. In fact, trying to slot in behind him as they got on the brakes up into Southside. Here's McMinn again. Let's see, can he get any closer this time round? Probably two equally matched ultimately for that gap to close. But let's have a look. The leader goes through. Full personal best and fastest lap of the race, a 1:05.094. 5.7 for David McMinn. The track is definitely drying out now. 4 minutes 50 seconds to go. So it's Aspel, McMinn, O'Malley, Marmion, the order. Three minutes 53 to go. Aspel goes through on a 5.1. Let's see if McMinn can match that one. No, 6 dead, and the gap goes out to 5.7 seconds. Milan has probably put it to bed, I would imagine, at this stage. Just under 4 minutes to go. As I say it, the track looking much drier now. Let's see what we have next up. Next up will be the Boss Ireland Championship. They were going incredibly quickly this morning. 48.4 pole for Paul O'Connell. Track not perfect yet, but it is drying out, thankfully. So Aspel, McMinn, O'Malley goes through. Does a personal best again, 108.3. So Pat O'Malley's time still coming down. But Ross Aspel all on his own out front from the back of the grid in the Integra. On the brakes. Perfect line, nice late turn in into Southside Motor Factor's corner. Right out to the white line, staying off the curbs. Curbs can be like glass when it's wet at Mondello, but any racetrack. The paint on the curbs can be very, very slippery. Somebody's going to head for the pits, I think, just until we won't see them coming into shot at the top. It looks like Luke Marmion is heading for the pit lane again in the Celica. You can see the very top of your screen under the Mondello Park logo there. He pulls in and pulls up. Somebody over to him straight away. Not sure if they can go back out and finish this one, we'll see. 105.2 for Aspel, that time 106.8 for David McMinn. So McMinn beginning to lose time just a little bit. Or else deciding discretion is the better part of valor. Save it all for race 2, but certainly the Integra is driven away in this one. Inch perfect every lap. Again, beautiful, just turns into the S's, gets right to that first curb, stays left, then turns it right to carry as much speed as possible through Nordic Spirit corner, right out onto the curbs there. Aspel goes through again. There's the fastest lap of the race, and now they're tumbling 104.822. So they're not down to qualifying times, not yet, but they're heading that direction. McMinn goes through, 6.5 for him. He's down to 0 now, checkered flag being prepared, so just a couple of seconds to go, 2 corners to go. And here comes our leader Ross Aspel through Nordic Spirit. On the brakes for the final time. Down through the gears, gets it turned in right into the apex, up over a little bit of curb. And right out onto the white line and the exit. Checkered flag is prepared. It's going to be a great win from the back of the grid. And across the line he goes, hopping off the limiter. McMinn will be next up. There's McMinn going through, good effort from him. Definitely slowing towards the end. I wonder if there's a problem with that car, was it just taking it easy? So there's McMinn just heading back in. Poorly supported race, that one, but there are a lot of cars in build and engine rebuilds and gearbox being put together, so we should see that class getting back to some semblance of what it used to be like before. Here's the final podium finisher, Pat O'Malley, coming down in the beautifully presented EP3 Civic. He blasts across the line, takes 3rd place. James Marmion will be 4th, and Luke Marmion is 4 laps down because he retired, unfortunately. I see the bonnet up, hopefully they'll fix that car for later on. We'll be on track in a few minutes' time with Formula Boss Ireland, the fastest single-seaters in the country. So there we go, single-seater Boss Ireland cars coming out. You can hear them before you can see them. So Paul O'Connell will take pole position. He's been doing a lot of racing in Euroboss and racing around Monza and Italian circuits, famous circuits lately, but it's great to see him back here at Mondello Park and back in Formula Boss Ireland. Paul O'Connell starts on pole position. Sylvie Mullins alongside Sylvie, always a danger man. Not just because he's a top hill climb driver, but because he is the outright lap record holder here at Mondello Park. He's been round Mondello in 47 seconds in that car. It's a Gould hill climb chassis with a Formula 1 engine in the back. That's the green car you see there in the Jordan 191 tribute colours, the 7-Up livery. And it's 47.380. We won't be looking at that today because the track is still damp, as you can see there. It'll be decidedly difficult for these drivers, but there's no shortage of skill on the grid. We should be fine. Michael Connolly. He's next up at the Springfield Hotel Formula Boss Ireland Championship Road 2. Beside him, Lee Malone, very well known to us from Legends, and has bought this beautiful ex-Ken Files and Jonathan Files Ralt RT4. 1970s technology in that car. I think it's late 70s Formula Atlantic car. They were used in Formula 2 as well. So shouldn't be anywhere near these cars, but went really well. 52-1, very quick in qualifying this morning. 53 dead, Jack Files, straight up from Junior Minis, the latest of the Files generation, and he's in a Formula 3 car himself. His dad had prepared this car. Donald Lockery was giving them a hand during the week setting it up, and great to see young Jack out there in top form this morning when I was talking to him. He's 7th. Martin Daly alongside him. Martin Daly surely will move up a few places. He's not likely to stay back there, never makes up numbers. Then Daniel Fardy in F3 and Gary Graham. So Jack Files, I should say, ahead of all the F3 cars. There's Jack Files, the white car, then Martin Daly, Daniel Fardy, and that's Gary Graham. Getting ready to go. Jack Files on wet tyres. They're short on rims. They had to fit them to one set of rims, so apparently he's on wet. He is. I can see it down there. Great sound effects as they get ready to go. Is it going to be Paul O'Connell or Sylvie Mullins? Surely the hill climber will make the best start. He does. And away goes Sylvie Mullins. And Lee Malone down the outside in the Ralt. Can he possibly hold on to second place? Surely not. Connolly has a look down the inside. Malone happy to sit round the outside. Then it's Martin Daly. Paul O'Connell next up and having a go at him. His young Files in the Formula 3 car, but has to tuck in behind him. So the 3 F3 cars at the back now in this one. So it's Mullins leading, and he's got the head down. They'll have to go some to catch him, I'd imagine. Then it's Connolly. Then it's a great performance from Lee Malone up to third place. There it is in the Martini liveried Ralt RT4. Then it's Martin Daly in the World Series car. Then Paul O'Connell, he'll get going. Watch out for Paul O'Connell in this one. Mullins a little bit wide at the first bit of the S's. That's cost him a lot of time. It's allowed Connolly right up to him. Connolly might have similar speed in a straight line. Just in front. There you go. There's Sylvie Mullins leading. Connolly second place. It's going to be a drag race in the straight. We're missing it here. They're side by side, the two leaders. There we go. And just holding him off is Sylvie Mullins there with Michael Connolly having a real go. Just before we caught them, they were side by side on the exit of Southside. Somebody off. We've got a spinner on the exit of Southside. That's Daniel Fardy has gone around. He's still moving. There we go. He should be able to get that going again. Looks like he stalled it. Let's hope he can get that going. It's not a nice place to go. Our red flags are out. The irony of the fact that he's got it going again, but that's definitely a safe option. Side on on the exit of a blind corner is not where you want to be. So hand in the air, and it's red flag for Formula Boss Ireland. I imagine we will go back to the original grid, which will suit certain people. Paul O'Connell, I'm looking at you. So that'll be interesting stuff. Jack Files made a great initial start, but I think the conditions we're in, those wets will probably start to chunk pretty quickly, unfortunately. So here they come back round to the grid. So we'll probably get another warm-up lap once they're regridded here. Search for racing bike or Liam Cameron or something. There's nothing. I just did it there. No, there's not. No, I tell you what that is. That's him wound up. He probably rang a shout at it. Green flag, and we're getting ready to go, and it is the original grid for Boss Ireland there. Young Files heading away, everyone getting a load of wheel spin. Most of them will want heat in their tyres. Jack Files will not want heat in his tyres because he's got wet tyres on, and it's certainly not wet conditions out there at best. There might be some damp patches for the train, but in a couple of laps he'll begin to struggle if they wet tyres tend to be made of very soft compound rubber, and they will overheat and begin to chunk off and slow him right down, which is a shame because I think that young man's probably going to shine in this class this year. So Paul O'Connell leads them out again with a second chance to get off the line. Still be doing well to beat Sylvie Mullen. Sylvia hill climber starts are crucial, so he'll be very well practiced at those over the years. Former hill climb champion, and as we said earlier, the outright lap record holder here at Mondello Park, 47 seconds, incredibly quick. I never thought I'd see a lap time around the national of 47 seconds, but Sylvie did it. Obviously had some sort of a problem with the car after qualifying. We saw him doing 3 quick laps with the permission of the clerk of the course at lunchtime, so obviously they were trying to iron out some sort of a problem. I didn't hear any news on that one, but hopefully the car's all right. It certainly looks very good in the early stages of this one. Paul O'Connell in the Crigora Mills car, beautifully turned out as ever. Stone Motorsport running that car for him, and Sylvie Mullins the Tic Tac and 7-Up livery on that car. I believe his son Luca might be joining this class, possibly in an F3 car. They come down to the grid, great sound effects as they rev them up. Coming down to the grid, the Boss Series cars always sound fantastic. Paul O'Connell back on pole position with a second bite at the cherry. Sylvie Mullins alongside, a huge back wing on that car. And Michael Connolly and Lee Malone in the Ralt RT4, beautiful car. And Jack Files, Martin Daly and Faherty, we're getting ready to go. And away they go, and it's Mullins again. Files again with a great start. Not such a bad start for O'Connell this time. I don't think he's actually lost third place. Here's Martin Daly looking down the inside of him. Big launch from Martin Daly up over the curb. Paul O'Connell sees him coming and gives him racing room. That's dropped them right back. So Martin Daly with a great start there, but O'Connell I think should be able to outgun him on the way to turn 3. And he does, just drives by, so Martin Daly has to do it all again. Lee Malone really being the giant slayer today, hanging on to these far more modern and more powerful cars. Jack Files there side by side in the background with Daniel Faherty. Faherty round the outside and a drag race on the way back up the hill now. And in fact Lee Malone having a look at the back of Martin Daly's car. 2 F3 cars side by side. Leaders already coming out onto the main straight. Sylvie Mullins from Michael Connolly. There's Paul O'Connell here, and Martin Daly, then Lee Malone still there. The Martini livery Ralt. Down into the S's now. Leaders getting away, certainly. Sylvie Mullins, centre of the track. I'm not sure if he's looking for a drier track or not. A locked wheel from Michael Connolly. Can be very hard to get the Martin Daly telling me before, these World Series cars, they're very quick, but it can be very hard to get the brakes up to temperature. And when you don't get them up to full racing temperature, they can snatch like that. And I imagine that's what's happening with Michael Connolly. It should get better as the race progresses, but he's pushing very hard because he doesn't want Sylvie Mullins to get too far away. So it's Sylvie Mullins from Michael Connolly, Paul O'Connell, Martin Daly, Lee Malone, Daniel Faherty and Jack Files. We're missing Gary Graham from the restart. Sylvie Mullins definitely beginning to ease away. It was 1.7 seconds as they crossed the line. It's more now visually as they come back down into the main arena, into the off-camber left-hander Bridgestone corner. Then up through the gears and through Nordic Spirit. Michael Connolly in the Connolly's top line car. Always well presented, very well driven. Used to drive a Radical before he had this car. Actually had an outright win in the Radical's move to this World Series by Renault. But actually Martin Daly now under pressure from Lee Malone. At the top of your screen, there's Daly. And look this, right behind him in the Ralt, going really well as Lee Malone. Got a bit sideways coming out of the S's there. but he gets a great run out and leaves some black marks on the track. He's under the back wing of the big World Series car, can't quite hang on, but he's not far away. This is a great drive from Malone, and Martin Daly loves a good scrap as well. So Malone with a later turn in there, tries to get back on the power in the rolls. He's right under the rear wing again as they go through Campion Corner, carries more speed through. The World Series is a little bit quicker. It's a lot quicker now in a straight line as Martin Daly opens the taps. But watch this as they go through the first apex. He's closing in on the brakes down to the second apex. He's almost right under that big back wing again, and he gets on the power good and early, and the roll moving around under him now as they come back towards the main arena through the left-hander. Very quick here. This is where he had to go last time around, but it got a bit out of shape. Oh yeah, he's definitely quicker here, but Martin Daly parking the car. Malone gets the momentum, gets the run, gets the nose up the inside. He's late on the brakes, and he gets down the inside. That's great stuff. That took him 2 corners. He learned at the S's last time what he had to do and got that run, used the momentum to get alongside. Out onto the main straight. Can he hold it now on the straight? Martin Daly coming at him, pulls to the outside. The straight's not long enough, and Lee Malone is up the place. Great drive. 4th place now for Lee Malone. I wonder, can he get away? It looks like he can, doesn't it? But watch this on the run down to turn 3. Martin Daly's car is so quick there. But actually he's made as good as escape through turn 1 and 2. Castrol and Campion. So Mullins from Connolly, from O'Connell, from Lee Malone, Martin Daly, Daniel Fardy and Jack Files. Well, if you're wondering, is the track dry? Fastest lap is to Sylvie Mullins, 53.5. They qualified in a 48, so 5 seconds slower than it was this morning. So it's obviously still quite damp out there. There's our F3 battle raging there. It's Daniel Fardy just holding off Jack Files, so Files hasn't fallen completely to the mercy of his wet tyres just yet. Does a personal best there for 58 dead, both on a 58 dead. 58.003 for Fardy, 58.060 for Files. Both quicker than Martin Daly last time round, so Martin Daly in trouble. I wonder, is Martin Daly on wets? There's the leader, Sylvie Mullins flicking it in, 6 minutes to go. Let's watch his lap time. He's driving away from everybody in this one. 54.8, didn't sound like he was revving the car particularly hard there at all. I'm sure he's well aware how far ahead he is. Michael Connolly goes through, 56.7. Let's see what Paul O'Connell can do as he goes by. 55.096, a lot quicker than Connolly, but he's 7.7 seconds back. So Paul O'Connell certainly beginning to get going. Lee Malone goes through 56 dead. 58.6 for Martin Daly, 57.3 for Daniel Fardy, and 57.6 for Files. So the 2 F3 cars beginning to haul in Martin Daly's car for 5th place now. Unusual to see this car without a Files helmet coming from it. It was with Ken Files originally, and then his son, Jonathan next up, and now Lee Malone has bought that car, but Jack Files is on the grid upholding the family name. Right. He's just a second off Daniel Fardy when they went by last time round. 56 there's fastest lap of the race for Paul O'Connell, and he's 3 seconds faster than the leader. 53.440. He was 17 seconds behind the lead. He's 14 seconds behind the lead now, and he's only 4 seconds behind Michael Connolly. So Paul O'Connell is on a big charge here. There they are, great shot. That's both of them. That was Sylvie Mullins coming towards us and Paul O'Connell going away. So it's a big gap, but Paul O'Connell has really got the foot down now. Fastest lap of the race by a considerable margin, 3 seconds faster than anybody else on track that last time round. Sylvie Mullins needs to probably up the pace a small bit here if he's going to stop that charge. I think Connolly's going to be caught. He's already been caught. Look at this coming up the hill. Sylvie goes through 56.3. Paul O'Connell is going to catch Michael Connolly on this lap as they come out onto the main straight. He's almost with them now. O'Connell really starting to push here. 53.7 as opposed to 56.3 for the leader and 57.2 for Michael Connolly. Now he's got to get by Connolly pretty quick if he's going to have a go at Sylvie Mullins. He does. Gets alongside, tries to sit around the outside. Late turn in should have him a little bit quicker here, just up the inside on the way out. That was superbly executed. Another move that took 2 corners. He set that up on the brakes down into turn one, late turn in, got alongside and then got up the inside on the way back out. So Paul O'Connell really beginning the head tilting over, really beginning to get a feel for the car as the grip levels rise, and this one the track gets drier. Fastest lap still to him at 53.440. Still way off the qualifying times, but visually just driving away from Connolly. Let's see what Mullins can do now as he goes by. 55 dead, he's got the message. Sylvie Mullins has found a second, 1.8 seconds that time round. So it's not going to be as quick as O'Connell, I don't think. Let's see the gap as they go by with O'Connell now up to second place. Yeah, no, O'Connell slower there, 55.4, and a massive lock-up for Paul O'Connell. If that didn't flat spot a tyre, nothing will. The gap was at 12 seconds that time around, so he did take another, he'd taken it down from 17 seconds to 12. I think that's probably the game over. 3 minutes, 13 seconds still to run, and in fact, you can see Sylvie Mullins out of the window here. You can tell he's starting to push again. He looks very, very quick. Now the F3 cars have caught Martin Daly. He just about takes it back on the main straight, but they're swarming around him like flies. That's Daniel Fardy and Jack Files. Here comes Sylvie Mullins. Let's watch the clocks this time. I suspect this will be quicker. Oh, fastest lap of the race, 53.131. So Sylvie's dropped the hammer again. Obviously got a pit board or something. Paul O'Connell, new fastest lap, 52.911. Lee Malone's just done 53.7, just 0.6 off Sylvie Mullins in the Rolls. So incredible stuff. But Paul O'Connell just put in fastest lap, 52.9. Here he is, just in front of him. That Martin Daly's still trying to fight off the two F3 cars. Here they come. He's got it in a straight line, but in the corners they're all over the back of him. Sylvie goes through again, 52.3, goes faster again, takes the fastest lap back. Paul O'Connell just coming out onto the main straight. Can he match that? 52.3, fastest lap of the race. Here comes O'Connell. 52.1, he can. Another 0.2 faster again, Paul O'Connell that time round, so maybe didn't flat spot that tyre. Still going beautifully. 1.5 minutes to go in this one. Intriguing battles. Here's Paul O'Connell now. Really begins to push, as is Sylvie. Great battle here. Martin Daly with the F3 cars again having a go. Jack Files trying to square off the corner and not scrub off his tyres. He comes out on the main straight. Here's Sylvie behind them. 52.5. O'Connell still with fast lap. Can O'Connell decrease his time at all? It was 52.1 for fastest lap last time round. Here he comes. 52.147 again. Does it again by a few tenths. Fastest lap, Paul O'Connell. Got about 11 seconds though. Sylvie Mullins straight enough. This is where the battle is on track. Look at the two F3 cars sniffing around the back of Martin Daly's World Series by Renault. The leader bearing down on them, but it's going to be a crowded track, he finds, because they're all having a go here. Oh, Martin Daly getting out of shape. I would imagine Martin Daly's on wets, you know, because the car doesn't look comfortable through the corners at all. It's very quick in a straight line. I think that's what's happening here. Up to the final corner. Almost having a look down the inside is Daniel Fardy. Files tries to carry speed around the outside. Here comes Sylvie out onto the straight. He's going to be looking for a gap here. In fact, I think he decides not to pass him. He's going to let this race carry on. The clock is at 0, so one more lap to go. Sylvie's going to have to pick his way through, and they're almost 3 abreast here, wondering where he's going to go. He's got by Files. There's just no space. They're side by side again here. He tries to follow Martin Daly by. He does. He's got another one, but Files follows him through on the inside. On this, the final lap. Files looking to get one over. Here's Paul O'Connell. He's not far away at all. Sylvie Mullins going to have to get some moving done here, and he doesn't get it done. And here's Paul O'Connell has caught them all. This is going to be a grandstand finish. They're right amongst the back markers. The checkered flag is prepared below us. To the S, and Sylvie Mullins needs to get up the inside here. He just gets by Martin Daly. The F3 car is now taking up all the room, and it's O'Connell down the inside. But Fardy gets in the way, and there's nowhere to go there for him. In fact, he has to back out of it, and Martin Daly gets past him again. So here we come, drag race to the line. It's Sylvie Mullins just about from Paul O'Connell. Brilliant stuff. Paul O'Connell fastest lap and a great charge up there. And Martin Daly, I think, would love to have a glass of water or something after that one. It's that will have been stressy fighting off those F3 cars for the whole race. And Sylvie Mullins really held up 59 on the last lap there. And Paul O'Connell catching the group but not managing to get by as they cruise side by side on the slowdown lap. Great stuff from Formula Boss Ireland, and they will be back out on track later on this afternoon. So Sylvie Mullins takes the win, Paul O'Connell second, and a brilliant drive by Lee Malone for third place from Connolly, Fardy, Daly and Files. So Irish Supercar Championship back on track. Great to have them here at Mondello Park. They visit us every so often in the ICCR. We always love to have them here. So 125s and 250s, and Mick Dunyan was on pole. He's on pole here again for 125s, but he managed to catch and pass all the 250s. There was a little bit of attrition, so let's see who's still going. But certainly very, very quick in a 125. away they go. Apologies for that. It doesn't resemble anything I'm showing on my grid sheet here. It looks like he's got 1:2:50 going by of William Kane. Is that right? That's the case. Yeah, it is the case. So there's just 1:2:50 cart and then the 1:2:5s coming through. So that's William Kane that went through all on his own. And then it's the 1:2:5s of Mick Dunyan and the rest going through. Apologies for that. My screen is showing 5 250s on it, but it'll clear itself when they go by at the end of the first lap. But certainly what we're going to be watching here is the progress of Mick Dunyan to see if he can catch that single 250cc cart before the end of this one. He's certainly got the outright pace as we saw in race 1. Cart number 125. To the S's. There we are. There is William Kane. Kane goes through, and next up is Mick Dunyan in the 1:2:5s. Gap 2.9 seconds. See how long that takes. Then it's Oliver O'Toole who went so well in the last one. Gabriel Lodge, Patrick Sands, and Henry Williamson. So we are missing James Deary, Peter Deary, Kieran Peden, Owen Buckley, and Michael Curran in this one, I think. Although maybe not. Somebody else don't know. There's James Deary just going through now, all on his own. So leader William Kane. Quite get into the apex there. 250 a bit harder to handle than the nimble little 1:2:5s, and Dunyan already almost on him as they come down into the S's. 1:2:5s carrying loads of speed in there and through the first bit of the S's and the second bit, but Kane hanging on. Nordic Spirit and up the hill, and Dunyan gets alongside. There certainly doesn't seem to be any straight line speed deficiency in the 1:2:5s compared to the 250 as they get turned in. We'll watch as they come onto the main straight. See if the 250 comes back at them. Absolutely not. They've left him for dust. They're now on the main straight. So Dunyan now leads the 1:2:5 class and leads overall, but Oliver O'Toole right with him, not even a second behind him, just 0.6 of a second, and trying to close him in now on the brakes down into turn 1. The 250 did seem to close the gap down in the latter part of the straight there, but through turn 1 and turn 2, Castrol and Campion, they've eased away. So it's Dunyan, O'Toole, Kane, Lodge, Sands, Williamson and Deary. Leader's coming down again. And this time Oliver O'Toole looking more determined than he did in race 1 to hang on. Dunyan 4/10 quicker though and opens the gap from half a second to 0.9, but very little in it. Both looking very quick, getting right into the apex of the carts, moving around. There's a little bit under them as they turn left through Campion corner. Completely flattened these carts, not a hint of a lift, nor will they have for the first bit of turn 3 here. This first apex is completely flat, and it's just a jab on the brakes, down a gear or two and flick it in to get up the hill. Dunyan's cart very well set up under him. It just pivots beautifully and then back up the hill. He gains himself another length or two, I suspect, from Oliver O'Toole that time round. William Kane still hanging on in third place, hasn't been caught by Gabriel Lodge. Lodge kind of similar lap time to him, 101s. And Patrick Sands, who's got Henry Williamson for company, and then James Deary. Here come the two leaders out onto the main straight again, 6 minutes to go. Fastest lap is 57.6, and he brings that down to 57.4. With O'Toole 57.6, another 2/10 bringing the gap to just over a second, but certainly keeping him very honest. Here is Oliver O'Toole, can't quite close the gap. They go through turn 2, right out to the exit of Campion corner, out to the curb, and then flat out all the way down turn 3. Again, just watch the cart the way it turns in beautifully, doesn't get out of shape at all. O'Toole the same thing, no opposite lock, they just grip and go. Nordic Spirit again and back up the hill towards the final corner. I think it's going to be the same again, maybe another 10th or 2 here. They are pretty equally matched, but Dunyan has the pace and is beginning to just ease away now as the laps tick away with 5 minutes to run here. New fastest lap into the 56s, 56.8. O'Toole does a personal best of 57.1. Just 2/10, that's all he's losing per lap. McDonagh fastest lap showing on screen there. 56.8. He wouldn't have been that far back in the boss race doing those times. The 125 carts. They're getting used to the conditions now, beginning to throw the carts around a little bit more. Tyres will be up to full temperature as Gabriel Lodge, Patrick Sands and Henry Williamson go by. And yeah, moving around a lot under him now is Oliver O'Toole. So I don't know whether that's because he's trying harder or because the tyres are going off, but certainly a little bit more movement as the car comes into the S's that time around. And again there on the brakes, just twitching the back of it, stepping out. He's working very hard at the wheel. Dunyan looking a bit smoother at this stage. New fastest lap for Dunyan again, 56.6, 57.4 that time for O'Toole. Comes the race leader again, putting a lap on Deary on the main straight. 3 minutes to run. Blue flags for James Deary there. 7.5, and in fact that's the first time I think that O'Toole has been quicker by a 10th on that lap. Got back down to 2.048 seconds. Henry Williamson, I think it is, at the back gate. We've got one of the carts at the back gate of the paddock. Comes Dunyan again. Towards Bridgestone corner. And the left-hander. And then flat all the way up to the last corner now. As he gets turned in. Henry Williamson, we didn't know he was missing, but he's standing looking a little bit forlorn beside his cart just at the back entrance to the paddock, waiting for the gate to open so he can come back in. Dunyan back 57.1 last time around, pulls another 1.6 seconds clear, so he's way out in the lead now. .9 that time as opposed to a 57.9 for Oliver O'Toole. That's getting bigger every lap now, out to 4.6 seconds. Dunyan really stamping his authority on this one. Looks like it's going to be 2 wins today. The order now is Mick Dunyan, Oliver O'Toole, Gabriel Lodge, William Kane, Patrick Sands and James Deary. Unfortunately, a lot of attrition from the supercars today. Could be, are we checker flagging this time? No, Dunyan goes through with about 10 seconds to spare, 12 seconds to spare actually, so he's on his last lap now. Down towards the first corner, still hasn't eased that off. Out to a 58.2 that time though, and a 56. 2:47.5 for Oliver O'Toole in second place. Here he comes down his final lap out of turn 3. It's Gabriel Lodge, who's actually in third place overall, just gone out of view there. From William Kane in the 250, who's not too far from him. This is Gabriel Lodge starting his final lap. There's William Kane, fourth place overall, the only 250 on track. We're watching out now for Mick Dunyan. Here he comes. Should come into view now, number 25. There he is, just sweeping through Southside Motor Factors corner. Fergus Brennan has a checker flag already. Assuming he waved it for the winner, but there you go. Second place, Oliver O'Toole. Takes the checker flag a lap down. Gabriel Lodge will be third. So Mick Dunyan takes his second win of the day. Oliver O'Toole in second, from Gabriel Lodge, William Kane, Patrick Sands and James Deary. So Fiesta Z-Techs have been released from assembly and are coming down the pit lane. Being led by Neil Murphy in his Siltec safety Fiesta safety car. Newly wrapped. I'm told it's a replica of the Valvoline British touring car Ford Mondeo. Looks really well actually. It's just been done by Jay and the guys at Precision. Neil is delighted with it. Flashing light on the roof. Mick Keogh, his buddy, right behind him. So top 6 is our reverse for race 2. So it's going to be Keogh from Keith Dawson. Always worth watching Keith Dawson. Great to have him back in the championship this year in the A1 Tiles car. I wonder did Mick give a little kiss on the back bumper of Neil's car. He won't be happy. He'll be out with the polish and the cloth if he did. So yeah, oh, a bit of wheel spin there. No, Fergus holding him back. Let Neil away for a minute. Wait till you see the green flag, he's saying. So Neil gets his moment in front of the TV cameras. There's Mick Keogh away. There's Keith Dawson, who'll start alongside. Then Ian Fishburne next up. Then Andy Kavanagh. And then watch out for Sam Doyle and Sean McGovern. They were incredibly quick this morning. Mick McCardle going so well. Jack Duke, who won the rookies. Alex McCann goes through. Lorcan McGivney, Philip Maloney, a Mondello Scholarship car, Alan Dawson in the Dawson Direct car. 24 is Finn Gillespie. Let's see if they've got to the bottom of the straight line. Speed issue here. They've closed the hatchback anyway. Then Paddy Fitzgerald, Roy Tobin, Martin Finnegan, Sean Purcell, Jack Beggy, Liv Corcoran, Barry Murphy, Robert Ryan, Liam Kavanagh, David Burns, Tom O'Callaghan, Ruben O'Neill, Elizabeth Downey, Alessandro Gentile, Philip Lawless, Christian Brennan, Dylan Jones, Lola Rose Turley, Will Humphreys, Garrett Fairs, Andrew Crosby. Watch out for Garrett Fairs and Christian Brennan starting in the back. They come back towards us. Down they come into the S's. Mick Keogh and the Dunnigan Auto Services car, always beautifully turned out. Mick's been very close to winning a ZTEC race. It's always there or thereabouts. Very difficult thing to do. It's a very competitive championship, and as we said earlier, scrutineers do a great job, but the cars are all the exact same. A lot of checks being done on them. Suspension, gearbox, and engine, ancillaries, everything gets checked in these cars. Alex McCann weaving around there, as is Alan Dawson. There's 24 Finn Gillespie with the new Go Faster stripes. We should be calling them Go Slower stripes. He's not having a good day by his standards. Let's see if it gets any better. '23 car, Jack Beggy, great colour scheme on that one. There's David Burns going through. Freya Burns not with us today. She's doing her leaving search. Tom O'Callaghan in the bright orange car, beautifully presented. It's the Hutton and Mead man. And Ruben O'Neill, 67. 55 is Elizabeth Downey. And Alessandro Gentile in his first ever race. Thought he hadn't got an entry because the entry was fully subscribed, but somebody dropped out yesterday and all of a sudden he was going racing, so managed to finish. That's him in the yellow and black car just on screen now. Interesting fact, his dad Marco does all the pizzas at the trackdays.ie events here at Mondello Park. So they're all coming back down. This is where we had a bit of trouble the last time gridding them up. And still there's a little bit of confusion at the back. The people at the back are not massively experienced as in any class, and there aren't any grid markings for them up there, so that's something that's going to have to be looked at. Lola Rose Turley doing a bit of manoeuvring. So it's not ideal. The starter not going to let them go just yet till they're all in position. Just giving them the 5-second board. Is somebody still manoeuvring at the back? I think we're going to go racing. Red lights are on. They're out and away we go. Dawson moves over, but Mick Keogh gets a good start. Fishburne slightly better, and McGovern gets a better start than Sam Doyle. It chops across his bows, and once again smoke from Gillespie's car as he drives away down towards turn one. Mick Keogh late in the brakes and hangs on. It's the Dunnigan Auto Services car that leads, and that's Finn Gillespie getting a bit of help from one of the Mondello Park scholarship cars there, sending him sideways. Somebody else exploring the limits of the gravel trap there as they go through. But it is Mick Keogh with Keith Dawson all over him on the way to turn three. Thought he left the door open, but not quite. Fishburne right there too. Oh, McGovern down the inside of Andy Kavanagh. Opportunistic manoeuvre there. Andy will try and sit around the outside of him, but no, McGovern's got it done. Super move. He's up in place already. He's driving like a champion because he is the champion. Somebody getting way out of shape there. I don't think they even got help. That looked like the back of the car just broke away. Lola Rose Turley and Alessandro Gentile side by side now going up from turn three. So it's Keogh from Keith Dawson, from Fishburne, from the charging McGovern, who really wants to get to the front, and Fishburne goes defensive down the inside. They all know Sean McGovern will take a lunge. Sam Doyle looking up the inside now. There's 77 going nicely, and that is Philip Maloney well up there in the Mondello Park scholarship car. Oh, look at this for pressure. 1, 2, 3, 4 cars welded together as they go across the start finish line. Dawson has a look at the inside. There's nowhere to go. McGovern's down the outside. They're all queuing up. He's surely going to get round the outside of Fish here. If he doesn't get shoveled off, he might be able to sit this one out at turn two. He's gone round the outside, Sean McGovern, and I don't think Ian Fishburne can do anything about that. No, he can't. McGovern up another place. This is great stuff from Sean McGovern. Next on his shopping list is the A1 Tiles car to Keith Dawson. Dawson has as good racecraft as anyone else, but, or does he? He does. That's McGovern down the inside again. And just a small gap gets down the inside. There might have been a bit of side-on contact, but the move was already made then. So surprised at that from Dawson. And Fishburne takes advantage to get up to third place. So already McGovern up to second place. Incredible stuff in the soft recruit car. And Jolt. And he's beginning to breathe down the neck of Mick Keogh now. So let's see as they head up towards the final corner. Is a look down the inside. Keogh has that covered. Fishburne with a wild run down the outside there, trying to have a go. That leaves the door open possibly for Dawson to get the nose up the inside. I think he's got enough momentum to hold him off. He can't quite close the door. Now he can close the door and slots back into third place. Look at all these cars. Sam Doyle in there too. Young Duke in the middle of it as well, the rookie leader. This white car with the blue bumpers as they all head down to turn one. McGovern right in the back bumper of Keogh now and leaving no room on the outside for Dawson. Dawson's got by Fish, or has he? They're side by side again. He briefly had got by. Let's see who it is. Not Dawson has it, but he's going to be on the wrong side here as they head towards turn 3, and Ian Fishburne takes it back. And Dawson in danger of being boxed out NASCAR style, because now Andy Kavanagh wants to go. Oh, he's so committed. Dawson just chucks it into 3 and hangs on to his position there. Then it's Doyle, then it's Duke, then it's Mick McArdle really going well. Maloney in the middle of it too. Dawson, Finn Gillespie in there. This is great stuff from Fiesta Zetec. Really top class, tin top racing. You can be on this grid for relatively small money. They're not expensive, these cars. They're very reliable and they're just so much fun to race. Almost more fun to watch though, as McGovern once again has a go. And Mick Keogh's pretty experienced now. He's been racing Zetec for a few years, and it's going to take a good move to get by him, especially when he's leading a race like this on Sunday afternoon. A long way to go though. 11 long minutes between Mick Keogh and victory here at Mondello Park, especially with Sean McGovern behind him. But if he can keep them all together, Sean is going to have to keep one eye on the mirrors. Fish gets down the inside. There's a lot of contact there. The car bouncing around, but they both steer away from each other. It was understeer as much as anything else, putting him into McGovern there. This is what Mick Keogh needs. He doesn't want McGovern just solely focusing on this. He can't leave the door open here at all. This is the McGovern specialist move. Launch it down the inside. Not this time, says Mick Keogh, hugging the grass on the inside. And no way is he leaving a gap there. He's seen in his rearview mirror what McGovern can do down there. So Sean McGovern going to have to think of something else to have a go at this. Through the S's second gear into third now. Flat out in third gear through Nordic Spirit corner, right out to the exit. Keogh with a lead, a length or two now, because McGovern's had to fight off Fishburne. Fishburne again down the outside of McGovern. And Keith Dawson having a look up the inside as well. Fishburne could be boxed out here. He's got to get back to the inside, but he's side by side with McGovern actually on the outside. Ian Fishburne, great man in traffic as well. He'll be as late as he can on the brakes and try and get level with Keogh to get round the outside of McGovern. There's a chance he can do it here. McGovern, in fairness, gives him racing room. It doesn't shovel him out. It's very clear in Drew Furlong's briefing that you are not allowed to do that now at Mondello Park. You have to leave room. That's exactly what Sean McGovern did, and that's a great move by Ian Fishburne to get up to second place. So Mick Keogh now with a different car in his mirrors as he heads down towards turn 3. Also equally match these cars into the apex on the power and up the hill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cars in this lead train now. Mick McArdle in the middle of them. Mick could be loving this one. He's worked very, very hard on his car to try and get this done. But side by side with him is Alan Dawson looking around the outside. Alan Dawson usually right at the front end, but came from well back on the grid. So 9 minutes still to go. Mick Keogh driving beautifully, has not put a foot wrong here. If he had, he'd lose about 10 places. Oh, McGovern with a lunge down the inside. Fishburne was trying to set up Keogh and just must have taken his eye off the mirrors for a fraction of a second, and a lunge came from the Jolt car down the inside, and they're side by side now on the straight. Fishburne's got to try and sit around the outside again here. Leading the rookies is Jack Duke from Philip Maloney, from Garrett Fairs, Patrick Fitzgerald and Barry Murphy. Didn't manage it on this occasion. Perhaps not quite so generous with the tarmac that time was Sean McGovern, but they were nowhere near alongside. So here they come. Keogh's got it. It looked like he was trying to make a break. He'd almost be better off trying to back them up here, because McGovern is so dangerous in traffic, and I don't mean that in a bad way. He will try moves anywhere. He loves throwing the car around and getting it out of shape. That's a little bit of contact there from Jack Duke into the back of Sam Doyle's car. Very minor, just gets it out slightly out of shape. No one will have any issue with that. The second gear through the left-hander into third now. And this time he's going to have to really defend. And in fact, there's a gap between McGovern and Fishburne, so McGovern might fancy his chances this time. He does. There's a big lunge to the inside, but Keogh has that well covered. And Fishburne read it well, went high and wide to try and get a better exit, try and get the nose up the inside of McGovern. I think he might have it done. He does have it done. They're side by side now on the straight. Great driving again by Fish. That car always comes out of that corner very well, though. We saw it the last time as well. Just got up the inside. He's back up to second place again. Be interested to see if Mick Keogh has spotted that in his mirrors, because that's where he's going to have to guard from Fishburne, is the exit of Southside Motor Factor's corner. For some reason that car can tuck its nose in. Fishburne does it beautifully. We saw it here at the last Mondello, and just gets up the inside, and then the job is done. You just sit door to door down the main straight and finish it off on the brakes down into turn one. I make it sound easy. It's not easy. Top class drivers in this class. They really, really are. It's a very, very competitive class. And Sean McGovern has proved how good this class is by going to the UK and going so well, from 10th to 2nd with fastest lap in a Civic Cup a couple of weeks ago in the UK. And the rest of the C-Tech drivers are loving that. They're all supporting Sean in his UK exploits, because it shows how competitive this class is. And just look at this. Makes commentary easy. There are so many cars going for the lead. Mick Keogh making, I'm not going to say he's making it look easy, but he's not getting ruffled at all. He's got a couple of lengths here heading up to 6 minutes to go. So we're well past halfway stage. Oh, that's the first time we've seen Mick Keogh going for anything resembling a racing line there. Just trying to get away and let them all shuffle amongst themselves. The problem there is he'll just have one car in his case and won't have to defend. And Fishburne's got the run. Somehow Fishburne just driven by Keogh on the way. Well, I'm not sure what happened there, but just not sure if he got a better exit or what happened. But Fishburne just drove alongside and passed Mick Keogh there on the main straight. Maybe Mick Keogh got out of shape, out of shot, who knows? But certainly there's the new leader now, it's Ian Fishburne. And now McGovern will be keen to get by Mick Keogh and try and get up to Fishburne, but he knows how impenetrable Keogh's defences are. Thinks a better look down the inside. Mick has that covered as well. Fishburne, I suspect, might have the pace to drive away here, you know. It's looking that way at the moment, isn't it? As they come back towards the S's. Through the S's now, and up towards the final corner one more time. Fishburne leads. Keogh got right back up to him, but dropped back a little bit there. Fishburne again leads. Keogh second, McGovern third, Dawson, Kavanagh, Sean Doyle, Jack Duke leading the rookies, going very nicely, 7th place overall. Then Alan Dawson, Mick McArdle, Phil Lawless. Just reading this grid sheet to see where Phil Lawless started right at the back. Phil Lawless, stealth drive from him, he's up to 10th. So great stuff. There's the lead group going through, and look at this battle next up. And that is, that's Christian Brennan, Finn Gillespie, Garrett Fares, and Lawless. And Lawless has just lost places to all of them. I've given him the commentator's curse. He's down 3 places that lap. There they are. Crazy stuff. Shoulder to shoulder, Fares and Brennan, I think that is. Mick Keogh under pressure from Sean McGovern now, but in fairness, whatever happened happened on the straight, so I don't know, but he hasn't made any mistakes, certainly. They're all beginning to crowd each other now, coming back up the hill. Sam Doyle in the middle of that one. Mick McArdle really impressing me. There's Finn Gillespie starting to go. No, it's not. That's Brennan, I think, and then Finn Gillespie. So Keith Dawson a bit wide. Sam Doyle trying some unconventional racing lines to try and find a gap past Kavanagh there. There he is in the Tara racing car. He gets the lunge down the inside himself from Duke, who's leading the rookies. It's Sean Purcell, 71, in the Mondello car there going through. Once again, Finn Gillespie heading for the Armco barrier. I think he is definitely struggling a little bit in a straight line. Fair's having a go at him this time. Still looking for a way by Alan Dawson and McCardle right in there too. This is great stuff, but certainly Ian Fishburne has left the chat. He's 1.4 seconds to the good last time round. Fastest lap though was to Christian Brennan back in 10th place, 1:11.4, 2/10 quicker than Fishburne. He's had great pace all year, Christian Brennan. There we go. Fastest lap, 1:11.472. Towards the main arena again, and a lot of people with improved performances here, and great to see it. That's Christian Brennan, in fact, on his own behind the lead pack, and he could conceivably catch them. We've only got 2 minutes to go, but he's absolutely flying there. Mick McCardle next on his list, and he was 6/10 quicker last time around, and they're side by side again, and that's Fairs and it's Gillespie up front. Fairs and Lawless, I think that is. Indeed it is. Lawless getting bundled out wide, McGivney going through. Fishburne goes through again. 11.9, 11.8 for Keith Dawson, a personal best as they come down there. Christian Brennan goes through. 11.8. It's him in the background. That's Mick McCardle's car, beautifully turned out. Alan Dawson in front. There's a bit of, is there debris on the track? There is. There's bits of Fiesta there, and that looks like one of the Mondello scholarship cars. I did see Mark Quinlan in shot there, so I'm sure he will have caught the action, whatever happened there. 77, that is. Keogh still hanging on in second place. Seconds to go. Penultimate lap, I would imagine. Christian Brennan fastest lap again, 11.4. Absolutely flying. That's him at the top of your screen. There's Mick McCardle in the blue car. Here's Christian Brennan there going through shot now. He really is quick. He was quick the last time out. He hasn't had much luck today, but he's going nice. And then Gillespie, Fairs, and then Lorcan McGivney. We were missing Phil Lawless after that drive all the way. No, somebody in trouble there. That's Mechanics McCann. Front suspension failure, it looks like. Can he get the car over towards the barrier? Tries to. Oh, great battles all the way down the grid. 3 abreast in the background there. Fishburne's lead out to 2 seconds now. That's Alessandro Gentile letting the leader by. Great work from him. His first ever race. He didn't think he was going to get a race last night. There was a full entry list, but somebody pulled out or had a mechanical trouble and he got out there. So his first race, a daunting day for him. Hadn't done much in the car at all. So Alessandro, perfect stuff from the rookie. Moves offline and allows them all to get through. That is really good driving. It's very daunting for a rookie when the faster cars come up and catch you first time around. Here's the checkered flag, and here's Ian Fishburne from Murray Motorsports and Fish Graphics, and he takes the checkered flag. Great drive. Mick Keogh, brilliant drive to second place to hold the whole world back behind him. Then it's Sean McGovern, Keith Dawson, Sam Doyle, Andy Kavanagh, Jack Duke, Alan Dawson. Mick McCardle and Fairs just about out drags Finn Gillespie to the line. So Jack Duke takes rookie honours, Garrett Fairs takes second, Paddy Fitzgerald takes third in the Mondello Park scholarship car. Martin Finnegan next up. Good run for him. Then number 10 in his first race is Robert Ryan. He's fourth in rookies. Barry Murphy right with him is fifth. Then Roy Tobin, Jack Beggy in that beautifully liveried car. Then Dylan Jones, Sean Purcell, Will Humphreys, Andrew Crosby, Lola Rose Turley, Liv Corcoran, Elizabeth Downey. Liam Kavanagh with a load of damage to the front of the car. Then Ruben O'Neill, Tom O'Callaghan and David Burns. There's Neil Murphy for Siltex already in there. So some great racing there in Z-Tex. Really, that's Z-Tex at their best. That battle at the front, just absolutely fantastic and giving racing room. There may have been a little bit of elbowing door-to-door stuff, but certainly no gouging, no cars being deliberately spun out. You love to see it. Ian Fishburne with a great drive. to take the win there. Mick Keogh will be very happy with that second place. He'll be ruining whatever happened. I wonder, I'll have to find out. I wonder if he missed a gear or something coming out of Southside, because he looked like he had it all contained, and it just went wrong on one lap for him. But he was second place, holding off Sean McGovern, which is a feat in itself. Keith Dawson third, Andy Kavanagh fourth, Sam Doyle fifth, Jack Duke seventh and first rookie, and then Alan Dawson, Mick McCardle and Christian Brennan round out the top 10. Christian Brennan with fastest lap 11.472. Then Garrett Fairs, who's second in rookies, Patrick Fitzgerald third in rookies, Robert Ryan fourth, Barry Murphy fifth, Jack Beggy sixth, Dylan Jones seventh, Will Humphreys eighth, Andrew Crosby ninth, Lola Rose Turley 10th, Elizabeth Downey, Ruben O'Neill and Tom O'Callaghan rounding out the rookies. So fantastic stuff from Fiesta Zetex, and they've given us great racing today on 2 occasions at Mondello Park. Somebody in there 44 with a little bit of damage. That's Andrew Crosby. Certainly needs a headlight, maybe a few more bits. So the scrutineers moving them around. It's a bit of a shuffle to fit them here. They've got to get that gate closed, because obviously for safety purposes we can't start the next race until that gate is closed. There's Sean Purcell, number 71, one of the tech guys here at Mondello Park. Works on the Ferraris and Porsches and all the cars we run here, and that's a car that the mechanics have to, and the operations guys to race. A team building car for them, so they decide who's going to race it the week of the race. And Sean got the short straw this time. So great stuff. We'll be on track in a few minutes' time with Sayat Super Cup Ireland, and a lot of technical checks will be ongoing down there in Parc Fermé. So Fiesta Zedek's still down there. So scrutineers checking them. There's Anthony Hoy talking to Mick Keogh and Pádraig Dowdall talking to the rest of them. So great to see a lot of paperwork involved here and checking out stuff they can remove. I don't know what they're doing there, but they can remove ECUs, check them pretty quickly. They actually have a ramp and a weighbridge in the scrutiny bay, so a lot of technical checks on a lot of different cars in all the classes actually. You see how windy it is there today. The flags are losing the battle against the wind. R8 supercar up here. Experience Mondello Park have bought some Audi R8s. You can come down here and drive them on the national circuit. MondelloPark.ie if you want to see any of the activities. You can actually drive a Formula Shane single-seater. There's a Rallycross experience as well. It's ex-British Rallycross Championship Suzuki Swifts, or Ferraris, Porsche Caymans, or many other activities. Have a look at them. Say it Super Cup's great sound from these cars popping and banging. Look at the back end of that car sliding around. Cold rear tires. Paul Parr doing that on purpose to try and get some heat into the rear left tire. Always crucial on one of these cars, or it can just rotate in the early laps. As we said earlier, they don't have that much lock. They're a proper touring car, so they don't. If the back end lets go, you can't just pile on opposite lock. You have to plant the foot and give as much lock as you can and hope it comes back. So it is crucial that you don't have cold rear tires when the race starts. So that's what you'll see them all doing, flicking the car and lifting and flicking the car and lifting. You see it on British touring cars when they're on board talking to the driver on the warm-up lap and they're being very aggressive left and right. It's actually the rear tires they're trying to get heat into as opposed to the fronts, because they tend to set the car up loose at the back to kill understeer, same as any front-wheel drive car. But on the opening laps before the tyres warm up, it can be a real handful. That's Stephen Wright doing it there. No, Eddie Peterson that was, I think. So interesting grid in this one. It's going to be Max Turley, the reigning champion, who's back from Australia to do a race. His dad Mark and his sister Lola Rose also racing this weekend at Mondello Park. So great participation from his early family. Another family with massive history in motorsports between Mark and Greg. They raced saloons for many years here. And Max Turley will be on pole position. 2 warm-up laps for the same reason I just mentioned, so they can get some heat into the rear tyres. Michael Cullen, he'll start on the outside of the front row. Then Sam Moffat, Paul Parr, Eddie Peterson, Victor Cullen, Stephen Wright, Shane Murphy, David Maguire, Pádraig McQuaid, Adam McNally and Mark Turley. So Michael Cullen on the front row for race 2 on his return. One thing is for sure, if he can beat Max Turley off the line, he will be very difficult to get past. Max Turley very quick though, won the championship here last year. Came back from Australia for the closing round of the championship just to clinch it, and then headed away again. So great to have him back here this weekend on the grid for the Say It Super Cups. Supported by the Johnstown Estate, Mount Juliet Estate and Trim Castle Hotel. Getting ready to go. 5-second board from Fergus Brennan. Red lights on the Alfa Romeo bridge are on. They're out and away we go. And Michael Cullen makes a terrible start. And away they go. And somebody getting out of shape. A little bit of help for someone there in the background. Paul Parr getting a bit of help from, is that Stephen Wright? Or Sam Moffat, I think it was actually, as they go down into turn 1. Everybody looking for a bit of tarmac and a little bit of help there. Somebody going around. Oh, and Shane Murphy spins and avoids cold rear tyres. That's what we spoke about. So 110, that is Pádraig McQuaid just getting helped around. The doctor getting involved there in the Volkswagen Golf down at turn 1. Michael Cullen making a particularly bad start. I think it was an absolute rocket off the line by Max Turley, wasn't it? Because Cullen didn't get swamped at all. So they come back towards us. Paul Parr at the end of that tail now as they come through the S's for the first time. All of the track being used on the way out. Everybody on full power this time, 340 brake horsepower. No penalties. There's Wright in third place. Watch out for him. And he gets a run at Michael Cullen, and Cullen gets uber defensive there. Must be a problem for Michael. A very slow exit. He's going to lose a place here, I think, is he? Or can he come back on the brakes? He can come back on the brakes, Michael Cullen. There's a wiper on there, but I don't see any rain here on the screens. At the tail end of that group. That might have been him involved in the Porter McQuaid incident, I'm not sure. Cullen in second place. Not really letting Turley get away, actually. It must have been just a slow exit to that corner. Michael and Victor Cullen have the wipers on, but nobody else does, I don't think, as yet. Well, Shane Murphy out of the action. That's a shame. Always good to watch. His car parked on the access road to the paddock there. Cullen beginning to get settled, easing away. In fact, I think he's going to he's catching Turley a little bit here, you know. It's a good second half of the lap by Michael Cullen. He's fought off the attention to Stephen Wright. And he goes by. Yeah, fastest lap, Michael Cullen. Taken away by Paul Parr. Taken away again by David Maguire, right at the back. Probably somebody with a bit of clear track, but certainly Cullen very quick there on that lap compared. He's got the gap down to 0.6. Don't need a stopwatch, we can see it here. A few of them with the wipers on now, and I see a few spots of rain coming on the screen here, on the windows I should say here. Oh, and Turley goes wide, doesn't get to the apex. Cullen does get to the apex. A bit of lift off oversteer gets him in there, and he stands on the bar to get up the hill. You can sense that Michael Cullen can smell a win here. Stephen Wright right with them too, though. Too many green and white cars in this class, if the class coordinator is listening. So the Panasonic car, it looks like Panasonic, it's Pannonia, isn't it? The Pannonia car leads. And Michael Cullen in his borrowed Rod McGovern car in second place now, and he's right up there. The first kiss on the back bumper. Remember me, Michael Cullen here. They're slow again on the way out. There's something wrong there. He gets swamped. That's exactly what happened last time. What is their gear selection problem for Michael Cullen? Just when he looked like he was going to start battling for the lead, somebody off in the background, Eddie Peterson, has gone around. Yeah, Cullen dropped back 3 places in that one. He wants them back. Looks like he might have got one in the back, has he? He's not going to sit around the outside there, surely. No, he doesn't. Oh, I think Michael inadvertently put Victor up on the curbs on the inside there. So Victor getting by Michael there. Sorry about that, son. There you go. So the Atlas car up a spot. Atlas Auto Service. It's definitely getting wet. You can see it down there now. And the two almost identical green and white cars. And look at Adrian McNally. He's always had good car control. He goes by. David Maguire right behind him, the man with fastest lap. They're all coming back down towards us. Max Turley now. I was going to say with a strong lead, but he doesn't, because Paul Parr's all over him. Parr tries to get the nose up the inside. Turley goes defensive. Parr down the outside, looking for the switch back here. Can he get it to work? No, Turley hasn't covered, or does he? He does. Does he come out onto the main straight? No, he doesn't. Parr's car perhaps slightly quicker, or else better traction, and gets up the inside. That's the job done by Paul Parr. That's the Mondello Park switchback and being affected there to perfection by Paul Parr. Turley relegated to second place, Stephen Wright in third, Sam Moffat, then Victor Cullen, Michael Cullen, Adrian McNally, David Maguire, Mark Turley. Eddie Peterson's dropped back, as has Porter McQuaid. A lot of water on the lens out there now at turn 3. Somebody very wide there, that's Moffat. Victor Cullen closes him down as a result. Mark Turley going well here, he's tucked in behind David Maguire, not getting dropped at all. Is McNally right on the back bumper of Michael Cullen now. I would imagine the exit of Southside might be the place to do it. Michael Cullen's car seems to falter there every lap as Parr turns into Southside Motor Factor's corner. Michael Cullen there as they come out. Seems fine that time. In fact, a good exit. Not sure what that's about. Fastest lap was Parr, 59.6. Turley a minute 0.8, 59.9 for Stephen Wright. Everyone else a minute. A whole lot of them, except for McQuaid, 102. curves, crucial to getting over those curves. Victor Cullen beginning to sniff around now at Sam Moffat, and Michael Cullen coming up behind him. Softrecruit.ie car, the Rod McGovern car that Michael Cullen is. Oh, Cullen very quick, Michael, through the second bit of the S's, pulled himself a length or two there on the McNally car. Turley under a bit of pressure here on the way back out. Is he going to leave the door open? It's the same thing again. He's got enough straight line speed, I think, to close the door. He's being a little bit polite there if he leaves it open. Goes in good and late in the brakes. Oh, he could have closed the door there. Nice job by Victor Cullen down the inside, takes a place. Michael Cullen goes wide again and gets passed by McNally. Well, somehow Max Turley did well. He held on to that one. Must have sat around the outside there. He's had that second place back. None of this bothering Paul Parr. Fastest lap in 2.5 seconds to the good. Oh, somebody very sideways. That's Moffat, isn't it? It is Sam Moffat. Well, you knew he'd have good car control. Not often you see a say it on full opposite lock laying down rubber like that. So it's Parr, Turley and Wright. Then Victor Cullen, who's driven away from all that behind. Well, let's see if Victor can get the head down and put some good times in now. Is that Maguire that has got to the head of the queue behind him? It is. Good stuff, Dave Maguire. Lunge down the inside from, oh, commentators curse Moffat into the quarter panel of Maguire's car and just sends him spinning. And in fact, he stopped himself on the outside. Could be in trouble unless he can get that car going again. He can, but very slowly. Maguire's recovered. So Victor Cullen in a good spot here. The first two going through turn 2 together will cost them a little bit of time. Turley really fighting hard to hang on to this one. Right, looking for a go around the outside. He's brave around the outside, but doesn't quite make it. This should bring Victor Cullen right onto their coattails now in the Atlas Auto Service car. As he tries to get up the hill on terms with them coming back towards us. Did a personal best last time around, a 59.7. Victor quicker than those two cars in front, but they're battling furiously. If that keeps up, he'll be on them in a corner or two. He almost is already as they go through Nordic Spirit. Victor looking for a podium here with 7 minutes to go. None of this bothering Paul Parr. Another fastest lap last time round. Turley still hangs on from Wright and Cullen right in there too. And it's Michael Cullen next up, but he's lost a lot of time. A bit of shuffling going on there. It's a bit like a dead man's car park down there for Sayets in the access road to the paddock, unfortunately. Shane Murphy, and I think that's Moffat down there perhaps. So it's Parr, Turley, Wright, Cullen, Michael Cullen, Adrian McNally, David Maguire, Eddie Peterson, Padraig McQuaid. Fastest lap is to the leader, Paul Parr. 59 dead. Somebody's gone quick down there. 59.6 for Eddie Peterson, who's down in 8th place. So he's beginning to go well. Still together. Victor Cullen thinking of a move there. Had he been a length or two closer, there was a chance he could have stuffed it down the inside, but he lost a little bit on the second half of the previous lap there. 5 minutes still to run in this one, plenty of laps left. Turley being remarkably composed here, considering the pressure he's under. Stephen Wright having a real go. We know how good Wright is in traffic. Come back towards. He does go defensive here though. Back out to the outside to get a full racing line. Wright is under the back wing. Victor Cullen once again right with him as they come down the main straight. Starting to go well, under the minute, 59.6. Most of them in the 59s, a few in the 58s. no change just yet. Yeses again, and Victor Cullen once again has dropped back just a little bit from these guys. Good exit from Turley, doesn't come under attack just yet, but Wright still pushing hard. Personal best for both of them that time around, 59.5 for Turley, 59.5 for Stephen Wright, a minute dead for Victor, 59.1 for Michael Cullen. Cullen is fastest man on track on that lap. No, he's not. No, Adrian McNally right behind him, 58.9. So good stuff. Adrian McNally, fastest man on track at the moment. Breathing down the neck of Michael Cullen, who's the second fastest man. Oh, and didn't get to the apex at all there, Mark Turley. The tires probably past their best at this stage. It's all weekend running on them. Down into the S's. Bridgestone left-hander, then through the right-hander, Nordic Spirit and upwards outside Motor Factors, 3 minutes to run in this one. And Paul Parr is away down the road. He's 7.6 seconds to the good. You don't see that too often in, say, it's Super Cup racing. This time over defensive was Turley, and that cost him on the way out. And getting the run down the outside of Stephen Wright. Not quite alongside, but close enough. Victor Cullen suddenly right back with them again. Castle corner through Campion. Michael Cullen there with breathing down his neck is Adrian McNally. Both of those guys, though, Cullen and McNally, are clearly quicker for the last 3 laps than Turley, Wright and Victor. And, with 2 minutes to go, I don't think they're going to catch them. 7 or 8 tenths quicker. So Adrian McNally knows better to hassle Michael Cullen. I think he's tucking in behind him, and they both got the head down. They're good lap times and a series of them as well. 59 dead, 8 tenths quicker than Max Turley, both of them, for the last 2 laps. Fastest lap of the race, though, still to Paul Parr, who's backed off a little bit. Not much, actually. He hasn't backed off at all. Another 58 that time round. Just to prove me wrong. Max Turley's got away a little bit, I think, on this occasion. .58.8 that time for McNally as he cruises up to Cullen. Michael, 58.8 personal best, 59.2 for Cullen. So fastest car on track that time round was Adrian McNally, starting to go really well. Right in the wheel tracks of Michael Cullen, they're 5th and 6th. Haven't really gone at each other, and that's allowed them to close that gap from a massive gap down to not too bad, down to a reasonable one. But speaking of Mr. McNally's gone. McNally's gone off. He's rejoined. Yeah, it looks like he's a half spin or something for Adrian McNally. Good quick recovery, but Michael Cullen away down the road now. 53 seconds. They're going on to their last lap, I would imagine here. It's a little bit more spread out here. Michael Cullen could put in a really quick lap here now that he doesn't have to defend. This will be interesting. Paul Parr out to a 102.070. He knows he's just got a lap to run here. He can change up a bit earlier, brake a bit earlier. He's got a huge margin here. Paul Parr is getting quicker and quicker in these cars. Genuine front runner, and this is absolutely dominant performance here. Always has the car very well presented. Out of turn 3 up onto that inside curb. Look at that for a lead, incredible stuff. Just kept the head down, didn't lift off at all. Still going to be Turley in second place, Wright, Victor Cullen. Michael Cullen. Michael Cullen's lap time here will be interesting because he hasn't got to defend, and it looks like he's visually catching Victor on this, the last lap. Victor's dropped back quite a lot from those 2 cars in front. Here comes Michael. Oh, he takes a bite out of the inside curb, uses all the outside one. It is a checkered flag. It is checkered flag. Cruising across the line at walking speed is Paul Parr. Brilliant stuff from him. Then it's Turley. Then it's Stephen Wright, Victor Cullen, Michael Cullen. When will he stop the clocks? No, 59.6. So quicker than all the cars in front, but not quick enough to get fastest lap. So interesting stuff, wasn't it? We lost a lot of cars. That's a shame. David Maguire watching from the sidelines. He was quickest at one stage in this race. And then Shane Murphy was off early on in this one. So that's a shame, just 8 cars finishing from 12 starters. But great entertainment, and well done to Paul Parr. Absolutely dominated that race. Max Turley, the champion, comes back and takes second place. Stephen Wright in third place, tried every move in the book, couldn't make it stick, but he gets a podium finish. And then it's Victor Cullen, Michael Cullen, Adrian McNally, Eddie Peterson, Pádraig McQuaid. So we're back racing, and it's the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs at Mondello Park. Great entertainment in race 1. We're hoping for more of the same this time round. Daniel McDonald fired the car round. He's a week early for the drifting, but it was well held. That's trying to get heat into the rear tyres. Young Michael Graham will start this one from pole position with Adam O'Mahony alongside. Could this be either of their two? Well, Michael had a win here the last day, drove superbly. I wonder could Adam do that as well? It's hard to know. A lot of talent, a lot of quick guys here. John Elliff was very quick in race 1, and Daniel McDonald, the newbie, very, very fast as well. And Tim McQuaid and Derek Graham, the two danger man. Oran King went well, so did Chris Jones. And Jonathan Kerwin, Matthew Devereaux, Porrick McGinley, Christopher Grimes, Charlie McKillen, Jason McGeehan, David Deary, Trevor Farrar, and Niall H. Nolan. That's the grid we have here for the Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta ST Championship. Alloy Repair Centre based in Cookstown Industrial Estate, just off the N7 at Tala. And the Accident Repair Centre, a sister company of theirs as well. So Owen Cullen, big supporter of this class, also pretty well able to handle one of these Fiestas. We don't have him here. It's a long time since we haven't had Owen on the grid. So hopefully we'll be back out soon as they head down towards the grid. A lot of weaving around. Again, they're all trying to get a bit of heat in their tyres. Nankang tyres they use on these cars. Pulling up to the line. Again, interesting to look at them there. Certainly from above, I can see that Adam O'Mahony is nowhere near where he needs to be. He's about 2 or 3 feet back from his starting stall. The only one that's really right on it is Tim McQuaid. There's the shot. You can see Tim McQuaid. You can't even see the white line. His wheels are right on it. But a lot of them just too far back. And Adam O'Mahony certainly giving away a couple of feet to the fellow front row man of Michael Graham. So the red lights are on. They're out, and Michael Graham makes a cracker. O'Mahony's going to have to pull in behind him, which is exactly what he does. Oh, a little bit of help there. Derek Graham and McQuaid get in contact, but I think Graham got a better start, pulled across in front, and Tim McQuaid did back out of it and let him go. Could have been nasty, but wasn't. Down into turn 1. They're in grid formation, the first 4. No, they're not. McQuaid's made up a place. No, he hasn't actually. He's beside Jones. That's another car. That's Elliff's car, another white car. So all going nicely, but Graham, younger Graham, going nicely here in front. Did this in race 2 the last day out and had a well-earned win. So let's see how this one progresses as they come back towards us. It's Graham, it's O'Mahony, it's Elliff, McDonald, Derek Graham, Tim McQuaid, Chris Jones, all the rest coming down towards us. Watch out for Charlie McKillen. Let's just check where Charlie started because he's well up there already. He started on row 7. Charlie McKillen worth watching here. McDonald down the inside of Elliff, a little bit of contact there. He gets the nose up the inside, but Elliff gives him the squeeze and he has to back out of it on the main straight. The 2 leaders beginning to get away. Then Elliff, McDonald, McQuaid, Graham, Jones, Oran King going nicely. Charlie McKillen, Matthew Devereaux. There's McKillen right in the back of this group already. And Jonathan Kerwin, Trevor Farrar, Porrick McGinley, Christopher Grimes, David Deary, Niall Holohan and Jason McGeehan. The order they went by the start-finish line at the end of lap 1. So Michael Graham and Adam O'Mahony beginning to get away. This is the battle for 3rd place and down. Tim McQuaid straight into the quarter panel of Daniel McDonald's car there. And he's pulling off. He might have done some damage, I think, to his own car. It looks like it. So that just gave the hops to the yellow Fiesta of Daniel McDonald. But let's hope there's no damage done. Derek Graham right behind him now as they come back towards us. Michael Graham, Adam O'Mahony right with him. I want to look down the inside for Derek Graham. Decisive move, gets it done. A wing mirror comes off, but he was down the inside there. Certainly no quarter panel banging. So a decisive move by Derek Graham. A little bit of inexperience perhaps by Daniel McDonald, but he's got incredible pace. He's been impressing us so much today. Certainly driver of the day in the first race. And as Chris Jones has improved so much. And up in other places, Charlie McKillen at the expense of Oran King. Who's now in 8th place. Devereaux 9th and Trevor Farrar in 10th. Ferrar started right at the back, so he's having a good run as well. First two still easing away. Fastest lap is to Michael Graham, who's opened the gap by another couple of tenths. There's Ferrar in the red and yellow car. Watch out for him. He's got past 5-6 cars already. Derek Graham now up to 4th place. Be looking to get by John Elliff, but Elliff has plenty of pace. We need to get up to him first. Charlie McKillen also on a big charge here. There's Jones having a look down the inside of Daniel McDonald. Doesn't get it done on that occasion. Just allowed McKillen to get right under his back bumper. They come out onto the main straight, almost pushing Chris Jones. Jones not having any of it. If Charlie thought he was going to give way and let him through there, not a bit of it. Down the inside goes Chris Jones. He's come on so much, driving really well. Somebody off on the outside there. That's Oren King, is it? That's our leader. Is that our leader? Can't see a number on that car. I think that's Michael Graham. Not a great place to park it, but he is trying to get it off the tarmac. That'll definitely give us a safety car. It is. It's our leader, Michael Graham. Adam O'Mahony leads. And I think we're going to get a safety car. And whatever happened, that's backed Adam O'Mahony. He's backed them all up behind him. I would be very surprised if we don't get a safety car there. No sign just yet. Maybe he's got the car out of the way. Certainly Adam O'Mahony's still leading and going nicely, trying really hard coming out of the S's. He has moved the car away, but that's absolute heartbreak. I'm just looking out the windows here to see where he is gone. No, he's at the back gate of the paddock. That's such a shame. Side by side now for second place as Derek Graham gets the run on John Elliff. Graham with the headlights on. Down the outside, Derek Graham in a forceful mood today. And in fact, Daniel McDonald wants a bit of it as well. Tries to get down the inside of Derek Graham. If he can sit around the outside here, he might do it, but doesn't manage it on this occasion. Adam O'Mahony getting the head down. The Ballybunion Bullet, we did think today might be his day. He's easing away here, this one. Gearbox failure in testing yesterday. Borrowed a box, I think, and got it fitted himself, so great stuff. Back up the hill now. That's Chris Jones and somebody with a problem there. That was that smoke or steam coming from the outside of that car. I think it was Matthew Devereaux. So John Elliff not handing away second place to Derek Graham quite so easily. Derek Graham with plenty of pace. Then it's Daniel McDonald. Then it's Charlie McKillen who's finding progress a little bit harder as he comes up and a last minute lunge down the inside. That's Formula Ford stuff. Great move again by Derek Graham. Back of the car moving around. Last minute flick. We haven't seen this sort of stuff from Derek Graham before. It's great to see it. Oh, and Daniel McDonald putting... well, I'm not sure about that one, but it's certainly, if someone's got the nose up the inside here at Mondello Park, you kind of have to let them go. But anyway, well, I think one floor below me might decide what happens there, not me. Adam O'Mahony still leads from Derek Graham, John Elliff. That was McKillen and Daniel McDonald coming together there on the main straight. They're still side by side on the way to turn 3 now. I think Charlie McKillen's got it done this time round. Gets back down the inside. That puts him up to 4th place. Fastest lap, Michael Graham still. Such a bad day for Michael Graham. Yeah, that is Oren King, and it was steam I saw coming from it. I could see it there at the back of the pits. The bonnet up, it was steam coming from under that. Looks like he's done a radiator and he's probably done some serious damage. He's probably done some serious damage. Let's hope he hasn't. And they're still at it, these two. Let's hope they stay away from each other on the main straight this time. McDonald on the outside, Charlie McKillen on the inside. There's nothing in it between the two of them. Under the bridge and down towards turn 1. Who's going to be later on the brakes? Nobody. They're matching each other. It's staying apart. Now it's proper saloon car racing. Daniel McDonald really impressing us today in terms of pace. Though what happened the last lap was a little bit unsavoury, but he is so quick. He's got great racecraft, and we don't know him at all. He's done a little bit of ITCC stuff, but Jay O'Reilly did tell me he was going to be quick. Well, he was telling the truth because he's very quick. So it's O'Mahony, Graham, Elliff. 7 minutes to go, just half distance in this one. O'Mahony there, the hazards flashing. That happens when they're closing in, but he's when they break really late. But Derek Graham now, and it's almost like somebody else in Derek Graham's car. Derek Graham is super quick, always really good, always composed. Not today. He's really aggressive in the car. We've seen some fantastic moves from him. So has Adam O'Mahony by the look of it. One eye on the mirror. So with Tim McQuaid out of the running, this is Derek Graham's chance to score big points. Main straight, great battles going through now. This is McGeehan, beautifully turned out car, one of the Kelly Motorsport cars, just ahead of Christopher Grimes, David Deary, Nolan in there too. Great battle between those four, absolutely together. O'Mahony with a great exit there. Derek Graham a little bit scruffier right out onto the curbs. That's giving him a little bit of a stave execution again. Oh, look at O'Mahony trying so hard, the car bumping on its bump stops as he flicks it into the S's there. Young Kerryman having a real go here. Derek Graham very close again on the brakes up into the final corner. Killen now released in third place, has closed down John Elliott in fourth place, I should say. Well, Derek Graham weaving around behind him. O'Mahony would not have the experience, to put it mildly, that Derek Graham has, but he's got plenty of talent. Out of Castrol corner through Campion and beginning to give him the work over a little bit and move around behind him is Derek Graham with the headlights on. O'Mahony doing beautifully. His family will be delighted with this one. He big support. His mum is always with him. Anna Maria, she'd be absolutely loving this one. He goes a little bit wide now, and Derek Graham alongside as they come towards the S's, side by side, door to door, but O'Mahony's on the inside. He really needs to go in here late, but Derek Graham's gone in later, and Derek Graham's going to sit around the outside. O'Mahony needs to stop him sitting around the outside. Nothing he can do, and Derek Graham takes the lead away. Fantastic clean move. O'Mahony needs to go back at him quickly here if he's going to do anything about it. He thinks about it, sends him to the inside, goes high and wide. He might get a better exit. He's thinking, well, this young man, he tries to get the nose up the inside. He has got the nose up the inside. Second gear, third gear, they're side by side. I think he's going to get it back, you know. He does. O'Mahony leads as they go by again. 4 minutes 50 to go. Cracking battle. Two great drivers having a real go here. Again, Derek Graham so late in the brakes, the back of his car moving around. John Elliott doing beautifully there in third place, holding off Charlie McKillen. But battle still raging for the lead as they head down towards turn 3. Here they are, and he's got it back. We missed it. I don't believe it. We didn't. I'm not sure what happened there, but O'Mahony had the lead back. Somehow Derek Graham has got it. He must have sat around the outside and had the inside line for Castrol, for Campion, I should say. That might be game over, you know. And O'Mahony needs to hang on and try and do something similar again. Although he has got plenty of pace. Young Adam O'Mahony, we know he's quick. To third gear now as they go through there. Charlie McKillen, leaders are together again, and this time O'Mahony makes him defend again. Exact same, both so late in the brakes, tries to get back down the inside again. Is he going to get it done? Not quite on this occasion. Derek Graham just containing it. 3 minutes 49 to go. What a race. Derek Graham leads, but only just. He's under big pressure from the Ballybunion Bullet, who looks to the outside, looks to the inside, back to the outside again. Derek Graham now the man under pressure. The hunter becomes the hunted as Adam O'Mahony begins to pile the pressure on. Derek Graham out front. Multiple champion. Adam O'Mahony a relative novice in terms of experience. Daniel McDonald still doing well. He's closing down Charlie McKillen. Derek Graham down into turn 3. Adam O'Mahony still not far away. Adam O'Mahony gets closer to the apex than Derek Graham there. The tyres will be a little bit overheated and tired after a full day of racing here. They've done qualifying, and this is their second race, so it always happens. They can go off a little bit towards the end of the race. Clean lap for Derek Graham, though I think that's going to get him away. Oh, and right out to the outside, using all the track. O'Mahony not close enough to make him defend. He needed to be, but he just couldn't quite stay with him on that lap, and that's allowed Derek Graham to take a full racing line through Southside. John Elliott driving beautifully here to hold back Charlie McKillen. Third place, there they are together, absolutely together. That's pressure, but he's not bothering the ex-Carter. Side by side under the bridge, and McKillen goes down the outside of the brakes. So let's see who's going quickly. Somebody, Jason McGeehan, 6'9", is quick as the leaders on that lap. Jason McGeehan, personal best, running down in 11th place. So some of the less experienced drivers starting to go really well. Oh, bouncing the car over the inside curb. I think at the first apex, perhaps was Charlie McKillen there. Oh, and it's a little bit of a mistake. As we said, the tires are starting to go off, and Ellis didn't get to the apex. That slowed him, and that's allowed McKillen alongside almost on the run up to the S's. He switches back to the inside, down the inside into the quarter panel. Yeah, well, I don't know about that one. John Ellis will probably be aggrieved, and he's probably going to lose 2 places, because here comes the charging McDonald now. McKillen right out over the glass and the grass and the white line there, trying to get as much space as he can. And an understeer now from John Ellis, just frustrated by that, I'd imagine, out onto the main straight. And that allows Daniel McDonald up another place with 1 minute and 28 to go. Well, you wouldn't be bored, would you, watching a Fiesta ST race? This is great stuff. If anything, Adam O'Mahony is closer, you know. He's 2/10 quicker on the final lap, on the last lap, I should say, and he's closing that gap down just a little bit. It's at half a second. It's not over just yet. This will be interesting stuff. Certainly there are places on the track where I think Derek Graham is quicker, but O'Mahony can haul it back when he needs to. Somebody coming in very quick there. That's Elif trying to get back on terms with Daniel McDonald. Gets right back up to him there with a quick run through the first apex in turn 1. I think out front Derek Graham's got that gap a little bit bigger again. They will get another lap after this one. First 5 kind of equally spaced now. Up over that inside curb, both of them. Derek Graham goes through 6-7, 7-1. He's taken 4/10 there, brought the gap out to 0.8 of a second. Charlie McKillen quicker than both of them. A full second quicker than both of them. No, he's not, sorry, he's 6-7. So he's matching the leader, and he's 4/10 quicker than the second place car. Going nicely, but not closing that gap down just yet. Just looking down to some of the newbies, and they're very close in time to the leaders. 6-9, 7-1 for Adam O'Mahony last time round. 7 dead for Jason McGeehan. So some of the guys with less experience are starting to get very quick, which only bodes well for the season. There's Grimes under the bridge, and he's got a little bit of company. That's Niall H. Nolan and David Deary, 2 of the newbies, right with him. There's Ferrar. He's climbed up as far as 8th place, and having to go with Matthew Devereaux now. This is checkered flag, I would imagine. What a great Fiesta ST race it's been. It's going to be Derek Graham yet again. Wonderful race, great aggression. Maybe this is Derek Graham 2.0, because he really was aggressive in that one, and he drove superbly. Adam O'Mahony, what a drive, so close to his first race win, and fought back really, really well. Look at this, across the line. Ferrar takes another place on the final lap and displaces Matthew Devereaux, so all the way from the back up to 7th place for Trevor Ferrar. So Derek Graham, Adam O'Mahony and Charlie McKillen top 3. Then Daniel McDonald, great driving all day. John Elif, Chris Jones, Trevor Ferrar, Matthew Devereaux, Jonathan Kerwin. Then it's going to be Jason McGeehan, who's starting to go very quickly. He was in the 6s earlier, 6-9. Padraig McGinley. Then it's going to be Christopher Grimes, Niall H. Nolan, another one of the Kelly Motorsport cars, and David Deary got ahead of him. Sorry, that's the Kelly Motorsport car. He just got ahead. But great stuff from Alloy Repair Centre Fiesta STs. As they come into Park Ferme, they'll be subject to all these checks as well. Drivers all getting out. Nobody got an easy race there. Some fantastic racing. Great to watch the body language of the drivers chatting. There's poor Michael Graham's car coming in the top. He potentially could have won that race, couldn't he? He was out front and beginning to ease away, and the car just stopped. I'm not sure what happened. We'll find out later on, but that is such a shame. Mark Quinlivan, the photographer, giving him a push into Park Ferme there. There's Oren King's car being pushed in by Ali. Let's hope he didn't roast that car too badly. Here's Michael Graham going over to congratulate his dad. It's bittersweet for him, isn't it? You could see Aubrey over there as well. Great family. They've raced many, many years here at Mondello Park and at Kirkestown. A lot of hand waving and motions with drivers there, doing steering motions, chatting to each other. Always great to see. Next up in a few minutes' time is the Precision Tint and Graphics Irish Touring Car Championship. So Irish touring cars getting ready to go. They're in the pit lane. Unfortunately, a small grid today, but I am informed we will be getting a lot more of these cars on the grid before the next race meeting here in July. So reverse grid for this one. James Marmion in pole position. In the Celica, seemed to give a bit of trouble earlier. I don't think it was going particularly well. Pat O'Mahony, Malley in the EP3 alongside him. David McMinn in the really quick turbo diesel, you heard me correctly. Sayed Ibiza on row 2, and Ross Aspel, who I would imagine will be in the lead pretty quickly on this one in the yellow Integra. He drove beautifully in race 1. Then Luke Marmion, who didn't finish race 1, is all alone on row 3. So getting ready to go with ITCC. Revs are up. There's not much in it. I did say there were problems with that Celica, but it's matching the EP3 away, almost matching the EP3 away. But here comes the oil burner down the outside, a cloud of black smoke, and the diesel machine is on its way. It's great to see. Incredible torque in that car. McMinn tries to get around the outside, but Pat O'Malley holds him off and leads through turn 2. I don't think Pat O'Malley's car will be quick enough to hold off certainly the Seat or eventually the Integra, but he's certainly enjoying his moment of limelight here down to turn 3 as Aspel dispatches the 2 Celicas. It's great stuff from O'Malley. He's not giving us any space down the inside to allow the Seat pass. He might hang on until the main straight here in the EP3. Just look at the speed of that car. Here comes the Integra already. Excuse me, already right with them as they come to the S's, but Pat O'Malley holding them both off here. They're really quick boys in his EP3, the ex-Future Classics car, driving as if his life depended on it. He actually gained a length or two through Nordic there. Leaves the door open a little bit, but goes in deep on the brakes and slams the door. I don't think so, boys. They'll have him on the straight surely, but that was a lap of glory there for Pat O'Malley and the little Civic. They haven't done him just yet, but here they come. Integra trying to get alongside. Can O'Malley possibly hold him off on the brakes for another lap? He's going to, I think. You know, this is great stuff. He can. He's through the apex first, and they don't get him on the way out. This is great stuff from Pat O'Malley now, leading the Irish touring cars in the little EP3. They're going to have a rethink, but actually the winner there was McMinn, wasn't it? Because he was third. Oh, he uses that wave of torque to get up the inside of the EP3 and takes the lead away down into turn 3. The Integra will be next as it hugs the apex there. O'Malley out onto the curbs. Here comes the Integra alongside, just drives by. I'm sorry about that, Pat, he's saying, but I have to deal with this Seat up front before he gets away. 4 cars together. Is that Luke Marmion with them? It is. Good stuff. They've obviously sorted the problem with that car. And he's going nicely in the Celica. He's right with this 4, just out of shot. They come towards it. O'Malley fancies a look down the inside. Goes in late on the brakes, almost gets down the inside of the Integra and out onto the main straight. But here comes Luke Marmion now in the Celica. And he fancies his chances of Pat O'Malley getting past him, but O'Malley shuts the door. First 2 absolutely together, nothing in it in a straight line. Oh, what a move down the inside. Was there a gap there? Just about. That was an incredible move by Ross Aspel. Great stuff. McMinn tries to go back at him, but that's worth another look. Brilliant stuff there as they went on the brakes down into turn 1. Castrol corner. So Aspel back at the front. He dominated in race 1. He's back at the front here. McMinn next up, and in fact having got up that other place is Luke Marmion, who's driving really well in the Celica. As he comes back towards us. So it's Aspel, McMinn, Marmion. Sorry, Marmion, O'Malley, and James Marmion. McMinn looking down the inside there, but he's a little bit too far back. Compromised them both just a little bit, and that allows Marmion to almost get up to him. He really is having a great run here, number 20. Yellow and white Integra. Still going nicely too. Looks like David McMinn is determined to hang on to the back of that Integra this time round. It eased its way away from him in race 1, but he's certainly looking more determined here. Marmion still impressing us there in 3rd place, hanging on and not dropping back too far as Pat O'Malley. Again, McMinn gets close coming through the S's. Fastest lap is to Ross Aspel, but fastest first sector that time round is to McMinn. Trying to close him down. Taylor with a slightly better exit and just gets himself a length or two. Then the Seat begins to get going. Same thing, it's just ebbing and flowing. So around here he gets really close, doesn't he? Pile of black smoke from the car as he puts the foot down, the boost comes in. We're getting a little bit wide there. Perhaps the front tyres, as we saw on some of the other ones. Down into the S's one more time. The Integra, a little bit of body roll as he chucks it in. Very tidy driver, Ross Aspel, into the apex every time, but he just can't shake off to say it. This time, I don't know if McMinn has made a couple of changes. Certainly, there's nothing in it. A 10th in fastest laps is all it is. Fastest lap last time around to Ross Aspel, but still not over a second ahead. McMinn was only a 10th off him. It certainly looks like he gets a cleaner exit out onto the main straight, but I think it takes a few seconds, or well, fractions of a second for the Seat to get up and running. The Integra is very quick on the exit there. Best that time, a 102.1 for David McMinn, but a 2 dead for Ross Aspel, so a 10th better, but it doesn't really matter about the stopwatch because you can see it here. Integra's certainly looking like the tyres are possibly a little bit past their best, as they would be. But again, he gets a great run up out of turn 3. Down into the S's now, Bridgestone corner. A little bit wide perhaps there at the first left-hander, and that allows the Seat to get closer. There it is, just coming into shot as they come through Nordic Spirit corner. And back up 7.5 minutes to go, so exactly half distance in this one. Long way to go. Being up over that inside curve, we saw him doing that earlier, trying his best here to haul in that Integra. Oh, he's a lot quicker that time. I wonder is the Integra in trouble through the speed trap. 137 versus 151. He's alongside down into the braking zone now. I wonder has Ross Aspel got a problem? Just when he pulled what, 4th or 5th gear below me there, it just didn't sound quite right, or maybe he just struggled to get the gear. No, he's definitely slowing a little bit here. So this is going to be interesting. Integra through the first apex on the brakes now to get it turned in and up the hill. McMinn still making him work hard. Petrol versus diesel. This is a really well sorted car. This little Seat Ibiza, built in the UK by Darkside Developments. They do a lot of endurance racing and club enduro. And they've got some really quick diesel Golfs as well, but this was their project, rolling project for a while. David McMinn has got hold of it and drives it superbly, and it always gives us added entertainment value because it's diesel. People don't believe it's diesel when they see it out on track and how quick it is. There's the giveaway, the little bit of black smoke. He's putting a good lap together this time, I think. Yeah, same again, 2.5 for both of them. Again, he tries to get alongside the brakes, but Aspel having to go defensive with 6 minutes to go. Stretches that lead back a little bit. And the Ibiza right into the apex there on the inside though. Once again coming back through the S's, that's as close as he gets. It's within a couple of lengths there, in fact probably closer than he was last time. Here we go, this is interesting now. It's close enough that the Integra has to defend, but it's certainly a little bit quicker on the way. Not much this time though, this is as close as they've been. Is this going to be fastest lap for the Seat? As they go by, he looks to the inside this time. Personal best of a 2-1. Again, the Integra has to defend. Aspel down the inside, McMinn with a really late turn in. He's looking to get it run at the way out. Starting to look a little bit scrappy. I wonder are the front tyres going off on that car, but certainly McMinn is renewed energy here, and he's going to have a go on the way to turn 3. The VTEC saves the Integra there perhaps on the way down to turn 3, but certainly McMinn looking very threatening in the closing stages of this one. Less than 5 minutes still to run. back up the hill, and once again the Integra, great run up the hill out of that corner, gearing just right, and gets on the power good and early. But here's where they say it is so quick to the first bit of the S's and then closes up on the second bit. Mind you, didn't on this lap, and if anything the Integra's beginning to get away. Wonders McMinn in trouble here, tries to come back at him on the brakes. Certainly he was relatively slow through the S's that time. It's a big gap this time round. Oh, it's fastest lap for Aspel, 61.8, 62.9 by McMinn. He lost 1.1 seconds on that lap. So not only did Aspel speed up, McMinn slowed slightly. Here they come back down into the S's again. The gap's static, if anything. I don't know if he's opened it anymore. Marmion is still in third place. O'Malley in fourth. James Marmion has retired. So just 4 cars still running in this one. But it only takes 2 to make a race. That's what we've had here up until this lap, the last lap, I should say, the previous lap. 3 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go. McMahon a bit slower at the apex there. I think they've all probably cooked their front tires at this stage, and the gap probably opening up again. 62 dead for Aspel. 62.7 for McMinn, so back within 7/10 from that time he lost 1.1 to lap before. A little bit of rain beginning to appear here on my screen. There's definitely a little bit of rain on the windows. Box. Not going to affect these guys, but Formula Boss Ireland are next out. Here they come back down into the S's. McMinn certainly looks like he might be a little bit closer. 2 minutes 43 to go. See, is it any closer? It was 2.006 seconds last time round. Probably the same, I'd imagine. No, 1.37 tenths back. Aspel out to a 103.2, and McMinn with a 102.575. The gap down to 1.3. It might not all be over just yet. There's Marmion, still not losing sight of them. He's done a 3 dead early on, into a 5.6 now though. There's a bit of rain on the camera lens, you can see there down at turn 3, and he doesn't get near an apex that time, and to say it does. So obviously struggling a little bit with front end grip now is Ross Aspel. Let's see if he can hang on. Minute and 43 to go. Certainly the say it is steaming its way towards him now as they come round the left-hander and then the right-hander of Nordic Spirit. Right out to the exit curb there, but I think he might have increased the gap a little bit this time. Let's have a look. It's not as slow as the 3.2 that he did the last time. It was a 3.1, not 3.4 that time for McMinn. I think they're both struggling a little bit here, closing stages. This is the final lap, I would imagine. Big lock up for McMinn. Quite get to the apex as a result. I've probably decided this one. Fair bit of rain coming down now. I see it again on the windows of the commentary box. Again, mind you, 35 seconds to go. They might get one more lap, you know. Last time around a 3.1 and a 3.4, so the gap open again by a few tenths, but they really have been going at it all through this race, side by side a couple of times, but Aspel just holding him at arm's length for most of it. As they come out onto the main straight, will there be a checker flag? No, there won't. There will be another lap. Another 2 tenths closer that time round is the say it, but it's not going to be enough to get up there. Well, it might be a big mistake. The Integra goes wide, 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 and all of a sudden the say it is right with him now. Race on with a lap to go. Ross Aspel leading, but couldn't get it stopped down into turn 1, and here comes the Say It. Can he get alongside on the way out to turn 3? We were going to watch something else there. He almost got alongside with the Integra back there now. It's getting very wet and greasy. Again, doesn't quite get into the apex. The Say It does, gets right in onto that white line on the inside. This is where the Say It is, dangerous is the wrong word, but certainly where it looked quicker all afternoon than the Integra is round here. Not on this occasion. Through the S's now. No, that's a good run through there from Ross Aspel. That's enough, I think, for this one. As they head up towards the final corner, Southside Motor Factors. All he's got to do is get it turned in, which he does here. Been certainly closer, but not close enough to have a go. The checkered flag is being prepared. Great drive by Ross Aspel to do the double here at Mondello Park. And Irish touring cars and all the entertainment come from that man, David McMinn, in second place, who tried hard all the way through in that race. Good entertainment from those. In third place is going to be Luke Marmion, a great run from him. There he is. Up to the final corner. Gets it turned in on the power and down the main straight towards the checkered flag. So brilliant stuff from Marmion to take a podium. Third place, Pat O'Malley not too far away. There he is. A little bit of understeer in the EP3 Civic as he comes down to take fourth. And that's all the finishers. We're missing Marmion. We're missing James Marmion on that one. So that's it. A couple of minutes time, we'll be back on track again with Formula Boss Ireland. Ireland cars coming out. Trying to get a look out the window here and see what they're there on slicks or wets. Don't have any info from them, but I would assume the message we have from Jack Files would suggest that they the message from Jack Files earlier would suggest that he's going to be on wets either way. I don't think he has any rims for his slicks, unfortunately. So Paul O'Connell will start this on pole position. Sylvie Mullins alongside, that'll be interesting. And Michael Connolly, Lee Malone, Jack Files, Martin Daly, Daniel Fardy and Gary Graham. Sylvie Mullins not starting, we're told. No fuel pressure, that's a shame. Always gives us great entertainment. Always appreciate a bit of info from the pits. That's Aidan Connolly. Thank you, Aidan. I'm sure they tried their best to get it running. He was very quick earlier on. 2 warm-up laps for these cars. They'll lead both of them. Still looking like a little bit of rain. Weaving around. I don't see Paul O'Connell out there, you know, or do I? Certainly see, I do see Aidan Connolly. Michael Connolly, I should say. Michael Connolly, Lee Malone, Jack Files we see. Martin Daly. That's Jack Files, distinctive helmet. Don't see Gary Graham. We've got a lot of cars missing from this one, I feel. Okay, well, we've been told why Sylvie Mullins is not in the grid. No sign of Paul O'Connell. I don't know why, so let's see who lines up. Oh, great, Aidan. He's starting from the pit lane, I'm told. He's out of my view if he's starting from the pit lane. That doesn't mean he's not there, though. Okay, but Paul O'Connell starting from the pit lane will certainly add a bit of entertainment to this one. Here they come down towards us. So Michael Connolly will be on row 2, but he's effectively on pole position because we don't have Paul O'Connell on the front row. We don't have Sylvie Mullins. He's a little bit ahead of his marks there. Here is Paul O'Connell. He is going to start from the pit lane, and that will give us plenty of entertainment. But he's on cold tyres. Paul's sensible enough now. He'll take a lap or two to warm them up. He can't start until the last car has gone by. Well, hopefully he's ready to go. His team are running towards him. They're saying no. Joe Powers, a hand up. Away they go. They're letting them go now. Well, this is going to be interesting. There's definitely an entertainment factor as Lee Malone has to go for the lead down the outside of Michael Connolly this time. Then it's Martin Daly, then Young Files, then Daniel Faherty, and then watch out for Paul O'Connell as they blast down towards turn 3 for the first time. Martin Daly down the inside of Lee Malone, who says no, I don't think so. Chops across the bows and the little 1970s Royal RT4. He's driving this car superbly. Gets a little bit out of shape, doesn't bother him. Opposite lock, there you go, let's go. Back up towards the S's. He really is loving this car. Paul O'Connell's already caught them and has passed Daniel Faherty. Next up we'll have Young Files and Martin Daly. So will he do that on the way up the hill? He'll probably wait till the main straight. Simply needs to get his tyres up to temperatures. We said it's a little small little bit down. Files is glued to the back of Martin Daly here. Chocolate battle. Around goes Faherty. Oh, Martin Daly's off on the main straight. No traction. Cold slicks. Glances the barrier, but I'd say that car is okay. Just a slight touch with the rear right. Martin thinks it's okay too because he looks like he's trying to get it started. He's furiously pressing things inside the cockpit. But that might be that, I'd say. He has got it going. Great stuff, Martin Daly, but there's no traction on the grass. Well, great stuff from Martin Daly. Gets it going. He's going to have to spin it around here. Does spin around. Beautiful stuff, nicely executed. A lot of grass on the car now. Let's hope it's not blocking Rads, but he heads away. But there you go, cold slick tyres and so much power. But up front there's a big battle here because Michael Connolly's under pressure, not from Paul O'Connell, from Lee Malone. Here we go, Lee Malone in the Rolls RT4, historic racing car, having a go for the lead here. Michael Connolly, of course, these guys, Connolly's car looks evil there, but Malone hangs the tail out as well as they get on the power. Across the line together, this is great stuff. Slippery surface flag being shown. I think they know Paul O'Connell is up to 3rd place. O'Connell will now be sensible. I think it'll take a lap or two to get heated to those tyres. He's still just done fastest lap. Look at the Rolls just dancing under Lee Malone. He's been coming from driving Legends, and they move around a lot as well, so like a bit of opposite lock won't be alien to him as they head down towards turn 3. Michael Connolly leads. Look at this, that car shouldn't be up there surely with those two more modern cars, should it? Well, nobody told Lee Malone. It's Connolly, Malone, O'Connell and Files now out of turn 3. Paul O'Connell still hasn't got by him. If anything, Malone is closing down Connolly. Paul O'Connell sits around the outside. No thank you, says Lee Malone. I want to have a go at the leader, Paul. Here they come up towards the final corner. Is he going to have a stab down the inside? But Connolly thinks he is and goes defensive. Malone goes high and wide. This is where he's a little bit of a sitting duck out onto the main straight. Actually gets a better run though and is having a look up the inside. Connolly's gone off now on the main straight in a carbon copy of Martin Daly's incident. Can he keep it going as well? Yellow flags, new leader Lee Malone. Let's see if Connolly can get it going. He can. I can see the exhaust shaking. He's got it running. Sounds great. Let's see if we can get it off the grass, into gear and away. He can. Loads of wheel spin. Gets it spun around. Great stuff. Can he keep it going? Stopped again. Should be able to get it started again, hopefully. As they come back round towards us, they're miles away. They've still got loads to go. And leading by a country mile is Lee Malone. Could this be his day? In Formula Boss Ireland, 2nd place is now Young Files, I think. haven't seen them. Let's have a look. It is Malone leading. Incredible stuff. Well, this will be a good day for the Files family. Ken's old car out in front and Ken's grandson in second place. Jack Files. Oh, Malone leaving like number 11 on the tarmac there in Mondello. He's not afraid of this car at all. Absolutely great stuff. Lee Malone in the Royal R34 leads down into turn 1. Jack Files goes through in second place. Then Paul O'Connell goes through there. Paul O'Connell must have been off 1:14 that time round. So 10 minutes still to run in this one. Paul O'Connell theoretically should catch these guys, but Lee Malone has got the head down here. Look at this. Gets the car turned in nice and smooth. Gets on the power up the hill. These little Formula Atlantics were like a miniature Formula 1 car back in the day. They used to run as Formula 2s or as Formula Atlantics. Atlantics was a very popular class at Mondello Park, of course. This car very much state of the art when it came out. Beautifully presented in the martini colours that Ken ran it in. Gets on the power early, nice and smooth, no opposite lock. Goes across the start finish line. 59.4. Let's see what Jack Files can do. 1:04. Second half of that time round. Again, they're back beginning to move around. I'm alone. Here goes Paul O'Connell. 58.7. He's definitely catching them. He's 6 seconds behind Jack Files though. Second and a half that lap, 9 minutes to go, so he probably will catch him. Martin Daly's up and running again. There's Malone into the apex and away up the road. Looks and sounds fantastic, that car. Down into the S's now. I know Jonathan Files wasn't keen on selling this car, but he wanted to fund the F3 car for Jack, which seems to have been a good investment judging by the way Jack is going in the little F3 car. I wouldn't be surprised if that car arrives back in Files ownership at some stage in its future again. Silky smooth Jack Files there, very much in the style of his grandfather. Across the line. Oh, 58.9 for Jack Files. It's quicker than the leader. Paul O'Connell goes through quicker than both of them, another 2 seconds. 4.5 seconds behind Files, but Jack Files beginning to go quicker, not slower. Jack Files 4.5 seconds back from Lee Malone. Here's Paul O'Connell, fastest man on track out of turn 3. Being very careful and smooth, very experienced, multiple hill climb champion, has gone really well here in Formula Boss over the years. Nice and smooth through the S's. There's Lee Malone. Let's see the lap time when he gets to the start finish line. He was a 1:01 last time round. He'll have to turn that up a little bit. He has done 58.5. 57.3 for Jack Files. 55.1 for Paul O'Connell. I'd say it's a matter of time now, but Jack Files really flying and beginning to catch his granddad's car. 3.3 seconds the gap. Martin Daly now. Oh, and Malone just being balked. I'm not sure Martin knew he was there and still doesn't know he's there, and he's being held up badly here. Has to go back down the inside. That's brought Jack Files right up to him. Here they come up the hill again, but he got a great exit, didn't he? Jack Files now can smell the lead, but soaking Paul O'Connell in third place with a 55.1 last time round. 7 minutes still to run. Jack Files almost with his granddad's Royal RT. Lee Malone driving beautifully out front. Relatively little experience in this car. Blast across the line. 59 dead for him, 57.4 for Files, but 54.1 for O'Connell. So Files is definitely closing down the leader. Round the outside of him goes Paul O'Connell. Gentlemanly stuff from Jack Files. Doesn't fight that car. He would have seen the rate of closure coming towards him. The rate of at the rate of which he was catching him. Sorry, behind him in his mirrors, and wasn't going to fight that one, but still pushing hard there. Jack Files. He would love to catch the Rolt, which Paul O'Connell has just done. Some brilliant stuff from Lee Malone so far, but not a hope of holding off Paul O'Connell. I would imagine Paul will wait till the main straight. Should be able to get the job done relatively easily. He does, goes high and wide, tries to get a good exit. Should be just able to point and squirt, although that roll's not slow in a straight line. Here they come. Lee Malone hugs the pit wall. If you're going to do it, you have to do it down the outside. That's what he does. And he doesn't want to lose time because you can see the flying files in the F3 car coming up behind him. He's going to try and hang on now to Paul O'Connell. So Paul O'Connell now leads from Lee Malone, from Jack Files, from Martin Daly. Michael Connolly has rejoined us back out there. Files is now definitely catching. You can see it here. He's catching Lee Malone. Lee Malone hanging on to Paul O'Connell, but Files bearing down on the two of them, if anything, as they come past here. Paul O'Connell should drive away here in the main straight, but certainly the second and third still trying hard. O'Connell goes through 53, 54.6 for Lee Malone, 54.1 for Jack Files. Another half a second as he closes down his granddad's car. Down at turn one. Lee Malone really impressing us here. Great stuff from him. As we said, relatively little time in this car. I think he was out on the action day. He might have done Bishop's Court in the car, but hasn't been in it for long. Oh, is that Jack Files? I think it is. I think it is Jack Files, you know. Yeah, that's robbed us of much of the entertainment in this one. He's at the back gate. A problem for Jack Files. That's such a shame, but I think we know what that young man can do. We'll see him again. Lee Malone bravely hanging on and getting down to the 54s now, trying to hang on to Paul O'Connell. Paul O'Connell 53.2. Oh, 53.9 for Lee Malone. That's, I mean, there's young Files. Beautifully turned out cars we'd expect from that stable. So O'Connell, Malone and Files was the order, but Martin Daly will take that place back, although he's 2 laps down. There's Michael Connolly, who's 3 laps down. This will be interesting. Jack Files could hang on to that third. I don't know if he'd still get it because he wouldn't be running at the end, but he's 3 laps up on Martin Daly while he sits in the car stopped, so this will be interesting. Martin Daly goes through there. There's Michael Connolly. Here's the leader, Paul O'Connell, behind him, and not too far away. Still trying hard as Lee Malone. Connolly stays out of the way. Paul O'Connell goes blasting past. 53.3, almost matching his fastest lap there. 53.7 for Lee Malone. Just 4 tenths slower. The car that must be 40 years old. Jack Files still showing in 3rd place. Another lap and Martin Daly be there. Files showing 2 laps down, Daly showing 3 laps, 3 minutes to go, so I don't think it's going to work out for him, but that's a shame. He will still have enjoyed that race, Jack Files. There's Paul O'Connell. 2.5 minutes to go. Is not letting him get away. This is very impressive stuff. But I know Paul O'Connell is probably easing off and balancing that gap, but Lee Malone certainly isn't. He's trying really, really hard in that vault. 53.3 that time round. Lee Malone 4 tenths quicker than Paul O'Connell that time round. Oh, you can see by the body language. Laying down rubber, opposite lock on the way out of Castrol corner, and a big flick to get it into Campion corner. He really is looking at one with this car, Lee Malone. The gap down to 1.9 seconds now between Paul O'Connell and Lee Malone. Visibly closer and getting a great run up the hill there. The hill to the final corner. 1:44 to go. Flash of flame as Paul O'Connell gives it gears, but definitely closer this time as Lee Malone with a late race charge here. Paul O'Connell opens the taps on the main straight. 52.798, fastest lap of the race. Lee Malone, this is great stuff. Paul O'Connell could end up under a little bit of pressure here. There you go, Lee Malone rolls RT4. Incredible stuff. This is super stuff. He was 7/10 of a second quicker than Paul O'Connell that time round. I'm sure Paul O'Connell is monitoring the gap, but there's only 1.3 seconds in it now. It was 2 seconds the previous lap. So a minute to go, 1:02. Yeah, this is going to start their last lap. Paul O'Connell now having to navigate Martin Daly. Yeah, Paul O'Connell, I think, has put the foot down again. Oh, that's put it without doubt. Fastest lap goes back to Paul O'Connell, 51.6. 51.6. Lee Malone with a 52.4 that time round, so personal best. And he's now got to get by Martin Daly. Let's see if that happens, just out of our shot. Well, actually, I can tell you out the window it hasn't happened. He hasn't got by Martin Daly. Oh dear. That's if there was any challenge, that's probably put an end to it. Gets by on the run up out of turn 3, but the gap is way open now between Paul O'Connell and Lee Malone. There's O'Connell already about to turn into Southside Motor Factors for the last time. Here he comes, great drive from him, huge pace, and into the 51s in difficult conditions at the end. He blasts across the line to take the win. But drive of the race for me, certainly Lee Malone in second place. Incredible stuff. Really putting it up to the more modern cars. Martin Daly next up. Michael Connolly, Jack Files, unfortunately a non-finisher in that one, but showing us great pace, and potentially was going to be second or third in that race. I'm sure they'll get that car fixed and have it back out. Plenty of potential there. Here's Michael Connolly. Connolly's top line car comes down. He takes the checkered flag for 4th place. And that's all the finishers in Formula Boss Ireland. We will round out today's racing with the last superkart race of the weekend. I'm not sure how many we'll have because it has been a rough day of attrition for these guys. Getting ready to go with karts. I'm not going to ignore my grid sheet because they didn't turn out the last time. They've had a rough weekend. Karts always give us great entertainment here, but they had a lot of problems. So we're missing a good few. In fact, we're missing most, if not all, of the 250s. So let's just see what comes out the pit lane. There's the Alfa Romeo Ireland Junior safety car, and the Alfa Romeo Ireland Giulia Veloce in the background. Commercial partners with us here at Mondello Park. Yeah, there is one 250 left. And that's William Kane, 103. We don't even see James Deary. Then it's Mick Dunyan. Watch out for him, 25. He's won 2 races today. He'll want to make it 3. 41 Oliver O'Toole will want to stop him. Then it's Gabriel Lodge, Patrick Sands, and I think Henry Williamson. Indeed it is. As they head away, the 250 leads them out. Great sounds, great smells as the carts head out onto the Mondello Park National Circuit. And the S's are come by the Alfa Romeo safety car. The lights are off, meaning he's going to pull into the pit lane. They can come down and do their rolling start. So they need to form up in grid formation, as carts always do, rolling starts, and they'll be guided by the light of the bridge. So it's up to Fergus Brennan. If he thinks they're in proper grid formation, he'll let them go. If not, they could be sent on another rolling lap. When I raced 100cc carts years ago, that was a guy on a chair in the middle of the track, a brave man on a normal chair in the middle of the track, telling us whether we could go. He raised his hands in the air, we could go. If he didn't, or if he twirled his hand, his finger in a circular motion, it was time to go for another rolling lap. I'm not joking about that one. And away we go. Fergus says, let's go motor racing. Let's go karting. 250's away down the road. And this time it's not going to be Mick Dunyan, is it? Because down the outside with a brave move, Oliver O'Toole said, I'm having to go in the lead this time. I wonder how long he can hang on for. Mick Dunyan is so quick. He's the closest one. He made Mick work in the last race, in the early stages of it, certainly. And now he's taking the lead down the outside on the brakes, and Mick Dunyan will want that back, and he just drives by on the way to turn 3. So down they go into turn 3. Second apex, both of those carts really well set up. You can tell looking at them, they're not hopping or jumping, they just rotate where they need them to, and then on the power and away up the hill, and they're already beginning to leave the rest of the 125s behind, and I don't think it'll be long before they catch up with William Kane in the 250. Just a 10-minute race through Nordic Spirit Corner. Way up the hill, onto the brakes into Southside Motor Factors Corner. Gabriel Lodge goes through, then Patrick Sands and Henry Williams with 8 cards out there. Lost I think 4 during the day, unfortunately. Dunyan out front with the head down. Still got to catch the 250, of course. Down is the S's with both of them. Still a little bit of rain on the screen, but there's none on the windows here in the comedy box, so it's not actually raining at the moment, so the track should be dying out. As William Kane gets down the inside of Peter Deary at the final corner. Now it's Mick Dunyan coming at him in the 125. Stop the turn in and away, but these two 125s are closing them down fast. Fastest lap so far, Mick Dunyan 57.4, and 2.5 seconds faster than the race leader. And the gap is 2.5 seconds. So he should catch him before the end of the lap here, I'd imagine. Once again, Oliver O'Toole is not letting Mick Dunyan away. Very quick through the first bit of turn 3 and carries that through the second apex and up the hill. And here they are, 1, 2, 3 for the lead. If Mick Dunyan doesn't get this done quick or gets delayed at all, O'Toole is going to be on him. They come out of the S's, and he held up slightly there, gets it done on the brakes, but O'Toole's going to go with them and has a look at Dunyan as well down the inside. Oliver O'Toole as late as he can be on the brakes. This is good stuff from him, and he's tucked right in behind Dunyan now to get the toe on the main straight, and he has got a toe. He's looking to come out behind him. This is like classic 100cc karting days at Mondello. He has a look down the inside, but Dunyan's too late on the brakes. Back of the cart's dancing around now. I wonder, can he stay with him? Mick Dunyan has got the hammer down here. Of that, there's no doubt. But Oliver O'Toole trying to hang on to him. Here we come again on the way out of turn 3. Turn 2, Campion down to turn 3. Just extended. He's very quick through the first apex there, Mick Dunyan. Doesn't quite get, neither of them getting quite to the apex there. Back up the hill now. Up through the gears. And just a dab of the brakes and a flick left through this medium speed Bridgestone corner and then completely flat. And as many gears as it'll take going through Nordic Spirit corner and up the hill towards the final corner, Southside Motor Factors with 6 minutes to run. Dunyan again, not shaking off Oliver O'Toole perhaps quite as easily as the last time round. He was 3/10 quicker last time round, but the gap's only at 4/10. Oh, the cart moving around under Mick Dunyan there as he goes through Nordic Spirit corner, so they are still pushing. A little bit of a shimmy there on the way through. Oliver O'Toole still quite close as they come out onto the main straight again. Let's have a look at the speeds. Nothing in it really, both at 140 when they go through. Dunyan from O'Toole, just 6/10 the gap. William Kane in third place and leading the 250s. He's out to a 104 that time round. They're both in the 57s, so I wonder is he in trouble? Dunyan definitely extending the lead at this stage again, just beginning to drive away. Definitely extending it a little bit. Both visually look like they're trying hard, but Dunyan beginning to open that gap. I think it might be over a second this time. It was 6/10 last time as they went by. Let's see the lap times. 57.2 was fast lap. 57.4, 57.5. No, 8/10, not quite out to a second yet. In fact, almost matching him that time was Oliver O'Toole. He's almost there, but Dunyan just has it in hand. Down into turn 1, beginning to bump and bounce just a little bit, Mick Dunyan. 57.1 for fastest lap of the race, but again, just 2/10 off. They're very closely matched. Oliver O'Toole can't quite get on a level pegging with him, but he's very, very close. Fastest lap again there, Mick Dunyan. 51.103. Down they come one more time. 2 minutes 10 to run. Dunyan goes through. 57.2, 57.4. So it's 2/10 every lap is how he's making this gap. He's just easing away a little bit every time. battle here actually as William Kane goes through. Patrick Sands right with him, and Henry Williamson in there too. Those three absolutely together. That's the 250 leader and two of the 125s battling away. But 3/4 of a lap ahead. Here is Mick Dunyan. Minute 20 to go. 57.2 last time round. Oliver O'Toole in second. Gabriel Lodge in third. New fastest lap, 57 dead for Dunyan. 8/10 faster than second place man. The gap opens to just under 2 seconds now as they go by. So 3 fastest laps in a row. Oh, and Oliver O'Toole really trying drifting the cart around both through the right-handed caster and the left-handed campion there. You can see the cart just moving around. Looks fantastic, but cannot just quite catch Mick Dunyan, who has been in class of his own all day today. Looks like he's going to go for 3 wins in one day. Gets that cart rotated. It's set up so nicely. Not taken away from his driving, but it just pivots beautifully there at the apex coming up out of turn 3. And he's right on it too. Here they come again. The 125s tackling the 250. Well, it's actually, they both got by him now, so it's actually, that's Sands, Williamson and William Kane. That's 4th, 5th and 6th. 18 seconds on the clock, so we will start another lap. Mick Dunyan, 57.2, so 2/10 off his fastest lap this time. Still drifting around and still trying to catch him as Oliver O'Toole, but the gap out to over 2 seconds. 2.2, as we said, pretty much rule of thumb, 2/10 every lap. Sands, Williamson and Kane still absolutely together, but there's the leader. Final race of the day, final corner of the day for Mick Dunyan. 3 races in one day. I'm not sure how many people have done that in the history of Mondello Park, but he does it. Mick Dunyan takes victory. Oliver O'Toole, brave effort to second place, hand in the air. He's happy enough with that one. He made him work hard. New fastest lap at the end of the day, dips into the 56s. 56.952 that time for Mick Dunyan. Gabriel Lodge coming down to a lonely 3rd place. He outpaced all the other 125s, I should say, but just couldn't quite get in terms of the front two. Very experienced carter, Gabriel Lodge. It looks like our 125s hit trouble. William Kane was 6th. I think he's up to 4th. He is as they come out of the final corner. So Williamson, I think it is in trouble. Henry Williamson heading for the pits. There's your 250 winner coming through. So Dunyan, O'Toole and Lodge are top 3 in 125s. William Kane takes the honours for 250s. And then Patrick Sands completes the order. So great stuff from the Irish Supercar Championship, and always great to have them here at Mondello Park for the TENG Tools ICCR. A fantastic racing all day. I hope you enjoyed the live stream from the Beacon Hospital. It's always great fun. If you want to come down to Mondello Park, there's loads of stuff coming up. It's really busy for the next couple of months. This time next week, Drift Masters, 13th and 14th of June. It's going to be massive. There's a lot of tickets sold for that one. 20th and 21st of June, the Mondello 24 push bike race. Incredible stuff. So a lot of teams, a lot of solo riders having a go at that one. It's got bigger and bigger. That's sponsored by Jeep Ireland. Then the Principal Insurance Masters are back on the 27th and 28th. There is so much stuff on, and don't forget Drift Masters, as we said. Full of the Pipe is coming, but the big one that everyone's talking about is the FIA European Rallycross, and that's 18th and 19th of July. 11th and 12th of July is going to be Full of the Pipe truck show. That's massive again. But European Rallycross, first time here in over 30 years. Some household names going to that one. Talk of some Irish drivers. James Dean, the drifter, is going to be out there in Derek Toll's Fiesta. And unofficially, I can tell you, he was incredibly quick when he was down here driving that car. He's well, you should know he's well able to steer, probably the best drifter in the world, but he's very, very quick as well in Rallycross, and that'll give great local interest. The next time we're back with ICCR is the 4th and 5th of July, exactly a month's time, with more of the same action and some bigger grids. For some of those smaller ones you saw before are building. There are more cars coming out, so we can expect plenty of action. Hope you enjoyed it all today. MondelloPark.ie if you want to come down here and drive a car, have a look at any of the experiences we have, or if you want to learn more about motor racing or go motor racing, ICCR.ie, and just click on classes, and then at the end it'll give you technical regs or how to start racing in this class. Motorsportireland.com for your license. So let's get out on track. We're back here in a month's time with ICCR. Thanks very much, guys.